Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
You're listening to Believe You Me with Michael the Count Bisping.
You know my name yet?
And Anthony Lionheart Smith.
Hey, first of all, man, thank you so much, because I know, obviously, you've got a big day on Saturday and you got the weigh-ins tomorrow. It's a title fight, but you're taking the time out to talk to us. Really, really appreciate it. How's fight week going down so far?
Going good, man. Going good. Yeah, sorry we were supposed to talk yesterday, but it was crazy, man. Crazy over here. I guess
Nah. Don't be silly, man. Don't be silly. Hold on. This window's all over the place. There we go. So we got a lot to talk about, Glover. The last time I saw you, we were sitting at UFC 282. You were 2 seats down from me, sitting there with your wife and Alex Pereira, enjoying the fights. Obviously, Jan Blachowicz, Magomed Ankalaev go to a draw, and then all of a sudden, you get told you're fighting for the belt in a few weeks. Talk me through that whole situation, please, from your perspective.
It was crazy situation, man. Like we talk about it, we watch the fight together, right? Like you right there, sitting. Yeah, it was. I don't even know, man. How it was like. This is a fight game, you know. I guess I sit back and let everything to take care of itself, because there's nothing I can do. I'm like, what I can control is my training, my fight. You know, I'm over there fighting. Those kind of situation was like very hard to deal. So I try not to stress at all about it. And that's what I did it. And look what happened. We're here in Rio de Janeiro fighting for the belt. And this is amazing, man. I'm just glad to be here.
Yeah, I mean, is this the first time you fought for the UFC in Brazil?
No, not for the first time.
Okay.
I fought a few times in Brazil. I already fought 2 times in Rio. This is my third time in Rio. But first time for the belt, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's just incredible. Let me ask you, because you were supposed to, at some point in your mind, you were going to fight for the belt. You were going to get the winner. Obviously, Yuri pulled out of the rematch. When you found out that the fight was going to go down, I don't know, what, 4 weeks time, 3-4 weeks? I mean, how did you feel about that? Was that ideal? Were you ready, or was it a bit of a rush?
No, yeah, I was ready to go, because I was doing a camp for Yuri. And, I just stay focused. Of course, I bring it down because I was already peaking for the fight. When my fight got canceled. So I just relaxed a little bit, I still fit. It's good. My weight's still down. So I keep my weight down and I still training. And when they say you fight in Brazil, you want to fight in Brazil, I was like, hell yeah, man, I want to go. Let's go.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, talk to me about Jamal Hill. Obviously, extremely powerful with the hands, right? You've got way more experience than him. You've probably got more knockouts than he's had fights. You know what I'm saying? So, but he is dangerous on the feet. He's only been beaten 1 time by a submission. When you look at this fight, Glover, and you analyze it, how do you see it? What is your path to victory?
My path to victory is the grind, man. Is to get in his face, feint, go for punches, go for takedowns. It's the way I always fight. I don't have it too much like, this guy, but for sure, I'm always like, the key to victory is to take a guy down and ground and pound and work on it. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. It seems like you two, there's no bad blood, right? But I saw you had a face-off in front of the arena. It was very, very intense. But there's no bad blood, right?
No, not at all, man. I have no bad blood, with no one, Bisping,
Yeah.
I'm everybody, and I respect him a lot, and I'm glad that he's here, glad that he take the fight, and of course he would, title fight, but just happy, man. This face-off was good, It's like
so.
Let's do a real one.
I can't wait, man. It's going to be an incredible fight. If you win or you lose. Obviously, you're 43 years old, Glover. I'm 43. It's crazy that you're still fighting at this time. My body's falling apart, right? And I'm sure that yours, I'm sure when you get out of bed in the morning, you've got a few sore muscles and bones and things like that. But win or lose, how many more fights do you think you've got left in you, Glover?
I don't know, man. I like to say 10 more, but I don't think so, man. Bisping, I live it like it's time. Like I'm very blessed that I don't have a major injury. Of course, we always have injury here or this hurt here, the knee here, the hip a little bit, but nothing crazy that I have a major injury. So as right now, I'm just having fun, man. Like I even joked yesterday, say I'm in my prime, man, because I feel like at older age, I've been fighting better because I've been come myself better. My defense, rolling with the punches, and I find the way to work on my style the best for me, and the way I figured out how to train better. So I've been feeling really good, but it's hard for me to say how many more fights, I don't know. It would be nice to break.
But you win this fight, you're definitely continuing to fight. You're going to defend that belt, and I'm assuming you want a rematch with Yuri.
Yes, no doubt, man. That fight for Yuri, for myself, I like I say that loss is still I can't digest that loss. That was crazy the way it happened. So we just got to do it again.
That's why people love you, Glover, because obviously in the cage, you're a world-class fighter, but you're sitting there even talking about your losses with a big smile on your face. I don't think I've ever seen you in like a miserable mood or kind of pissed off. Are you like this all the time, 24/7?
You can ask my wife here. She's right here. But most of the times I try to embrace everything, the hard time and the good time, and just be glad to. I always look the positive sides of life. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I like to be. You got two options in the world when you deal with any situation, right? Any situation in life, you got two options: be miserable or be happy. And be happy is much better option.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that a lot of people could listen to that advice, me included. When we were at the fights at UFC 282, you were with Alex.
Oh, you're a happy guy, man. I know you do the fight game. You seem a little angry, but I think it's just a show, no? You did a show.
I'm pretty happy. I'm happy for the most part. I have my moments though. I have a bit of a temper problem, but I'm a lot better. I used to be a nightmare when I was a kid. I was going to say, though, at the fights, you were with Alex Pereira, right? Your training partner, you're a mentor to him, and you coach him as well. One thing, I couldn't believe the size of him because that was the first time I've ever seen him in the flesh. But talking of Alex, I'm assuming he has been instrumental in this training camp because Hill on the feet is very dangerous. You don't get better training partners for a striker than Alex Pereira.
Yeah, no doubt. Alex is a big help in the camp. I cannot let it out. Fanelli Feliz Jr. and Ali, those two guys are my coach's son. One is in the Olympic boxing team. They go into the Olympic right now. The other one is professional, like 9-0 in boxing. And you write that name down, Fanelli Feliz Jr. It's going to be a heavyweight champion of the world in boxing.
Okay. So you got no shortage of training partners then. It's quite the story that you've had, Glover. It's so inspirational, the hard times that you came through, and then, it's well documented, training with Chuck Liddell back in the day, and you become the champion. And now here you are in Brazil, fighting in Brazil with the chance to become a world champion again, a two-time world champion. I mean, what a special moment for you. I mean, could you have ever imagined this when you were younger and you first started? I mean, this is a big deal. Pay-per-view, world championship in your home country. I mean, it's what dreams are made of, right?
Yes, when you're young, like you say, when you're young, we visualize and all the greatness for us. How can I be champion and defend the belt like 50 times? We That's how we thinking. And of course, as I visualize this many times, one day fighting for the belt or defend the belt here in Brazil. And after my last fight, I wanted to, for sure, because soon that I know Brazil having UFC here for like 3 years. If I'm not wrong, about 3 years they haven't come in Brazil, and I know how big this card was gonna be, how big the crowd was gonna be excited for this event, and I wanted to be here so bad. And it's kind of like, I guess, that power, that attraction, man, that power attraction to be here. It's crazy the way the whole situation happened, and here I am fighting for the belt in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, the city that I live for 3.5 years, train over here for all those guys, and it's incredible, man. I'm very grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, no, it is incredible. Throughout your career, Glover, you fought, all the best. You fought all the best. Is there one fight that sticks out as one of your personal favorites?
I have to say with the Yan, when I won the belt in Abu Dhabi, it was a kind of smooth fight for me. I'm not gonna say easy fight, but it was like I got to.
It was good. It was pretty easy. It was pretty easy, and I love Yan. No disrespect to Yan, but you had a good night at the office.
Yeah, good night, and because the way the fight went and the winning the belt, I have to say the fight. The fight. It was incredible moment, unforgettable moment.
Yeah. Yuri Prohaska. So let's assume that you're victorious Saturday night. You get the job done. Yuri, I don't know when he's going to come back, but of course, that's a fight that you want to have again. You want to get the rematch. What would you do differently, you think, in the rematch? Without giving away too much.
I paced myself a little more. I think I was too much on like the aggression going on the ground, and I was not that like I didn't think, because I take him down a few times in a fight, and I take him down right in the first round. I was even surprised that I take him down like that quick, and I was just from the beginning, I just trying to finish the fight, and he keep getting up, and I trying to take him down again, and I guess like just patient a little more, work my jiu-jitsu a little more, work a little tighter up the game, and not going crazy, trying to ground and pound to finish, just patient myself a little more. And also now I know that I can also beat him and stand up too, because the whole strategy for that fight was like close the distance, take him down, finish him, but and I hurt him with the right hand in that 5th round there, and now I see the power. I see the way he punches. I kind of like have a GPS map to fight him and beat him.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned the ground and pound, because when you did get on top, because I was there in Singapore, the crowd was going phenomenal. I mean, it was a legendary fight. It was fight of the year. I think for many people voted on that. It was just sensational. When you got on top and you were hitting him with some heavy shots, and I thought the referee's going to step in. Was there a part of you there thinking, come on, ref, he is taking a lot of damage here?
No, not really. Not really. I see that he was there all the time, and every time I hit him with a good shot, he was talking to me and say, "Oh, good one. It's crazy, and like I never really felt was close. I felt sometimes it was close to stop. When I grabbed him the choke, the Katagatame choke there, he was snoring, man, ready to go to tap or to zip, and I squeezed everything. I got it, but he was his night, man. He was a warrior.
Yeah,
he showed a lot of determination, and
yep.
You know?
And again, Glover, that's why people really appreciate your career, because you're so honest. Regarding Glover, it's funny you mentioned him talking to you. I forgot about that. I mean, he's kind of a wild man. He's unpredictable. He's unorthodox. But talk to me. I mean, how much respect do you have for him when he got injured and he decided to relinquish or vacate the belt so the division can move on? I mean, myself as a retired fighter, I looked at that and I thought, wow. But if I was in the division, I mean, you gotta respect that move, right?
Big time, man. Jury is, you know, he's like, you know, he's all that discipline, the samurai, the way he think, you know, like seeing the samurai kind of code, you know, samurai code, and he did that in a very classy way.
Yeah.
A lot of respect for him. Incredible what he did.
Yeah, no, he's a special man. All right, so we're going to go to our producer in a minute for a few more questions from Twitter for you. We'll let you get out of here. But I know that you're a part of the Lutadores NFT drop from Block Asset, and I think they just dropped, or I think half of the NFT sales have already gone. But tell me about your NFTs that are coming out, Glover.
Yeah, it's incredible to be. Have this opportunity they give us, you know, NFTs, sponsor us. I signed a bunch of cards yesterday. We make a video. Those guys are really nice. And it's great to be part of this with all you guys, you know. It's like I say, we live in the dream over here.
That's amazing. And I just want to point out, Block Asset asked me to say this, and that's how we got the interview with you. And thank you for your time again. So 50% of the NFT have already gone to crypto users. It will be opening up to credit card and debit card users and Apple Pay in the next few hours. And it is on schedule to sell out before Saturday. So that's huge, Glover. Congratulations.
Signed a bunch of cards yesterday. So go get those cards, you know.
Go get those cards, guys. Go get those cards. Right. Harrington, our producer, he's going to give you a few questions from Twitter, Glover, and then we'll let you get on with your day. Harrington, over to you, my friend.
What's going on, champ? How you doing, man? Okay, a bunch of people have been asking this question, so I'm just going to go with I like fights' thing here. I've seen Alex Pereira on a roller coaster not break a smile. What does it take to get that man to just do one of these?
Yeah, you know, Alex he's a happy guy, man. He's like a cool guy. He have a good sense of humor. But he doesn't laugh too much, you know. He's like, that's the way he is, you know. But I asked him, are you happy or are you mad? And he's like, no, I'm happy too. You know, every once in a while he crack a smile. But I told him, like, I'm gonna stop because I make a lot of jokes all the time. I say I'm gonna stop making jokes around you, man. You know, make my confidence low, you know.
Yeah. You're like that was some funny shit. Come on, Alex, laugh.
Yeah, everybody's laughing, and he's like, he goes like this. I'm like, yeah, that was pretty funny. I was like.
Let me ask you: Is the rematch with Izzy? Is that his focus right now, or are we thinking maybe a Robert Whittaker or something like that?
I don't know about that. Anything about what's going on? Yes, rematch with for sure. I said this yesterday. That the Sanya wants the rematch. He should get the rematch. So the rematch, fight was going, and because. He was such a great champion and defended his title a bunch of times, and he deserved a rematch. And I even say crazy respect for the Sanya just to go back and trying to fight it again, man. That's like a willing to just keep it going, you know. Like I'm fighting this time, 2 times, 3 times, and now if he goes again, it's like what do you can say about that guy? You know, like I think if I lost 3 times for the guys, I'll be like, okay, right, I'm good.
See, that's the thing. I don't think people realize how hard it is mentally to step in there with a guy that's beaten you 3 times already. So Izzy 100% deserves massive respect for that because unless you've done it for a living, I mean, psychologically, the demons that you have. Harrington, 2 more questions, then we'll let the champ get on his way. He's got a very, very busy schedule.
All right. At Skooski wants to know, what is one fight you wanted in the UFC but never got?
Good question.
Oh, One fight that I wanted in UFC never got. Man, I don't know. I'm always want to fight for the title. I'm always want to fight the champion. And was a fight that I really want. Back there that I had the opportunity to fight a couple. I fought Anthony Johnson, and I think I fought Gustafsson. I was gonna fight with him. Was Daniel Cormier. I think the style, just because the great fighter that he is, and he's the only guy in the light heavyweight that's shorter than me. So I was like, oh man, I'll be taller.
He might be shorter, but he's definitely bigger.
Oh, he's
Bigger guy.
big, man. He's big, but hey, was a fight that I wanted to fight, but Daniel is he's a legend, man. He's an incredible fighter, one of the greatest of all time.
Without question, everybody loves DC. Absolute legend. Harrington.
Okay, last question here. Keeping it loopy wants to know, can you tell us a Chuck Liddell story?
Chuck Liddell, sorry, Chuck have a lot of stories, man, but I can't say.
Yeah. I know Chuck a little bit. They're not safe to tell. That's like betraying trust.
But Chuck is like Chuck is fun dude, man. He loves to. I tell you this, right? First couple fights I went to Chuck, and Chuck liked to sleep late, and he liked to go to bed very late. And before Babalu fight, he was like he was with a bunch of girls out in a club, dancing. 3 a.m. We over there, like, I was tired, man. I was not even, I didn't have a fight. I was just as a training partner there with him. I was like, how is this guy? He's like over there, like, drink like a 5 or 6 Red Bull. He's drinking Red Bull, like energy drinking, like just like dancing 3 a.m. in a club.
Yeah.
And then, always surrounded with the girls. And that was like, wow, man, how this guy's doing? I was worried about him and the fight. This is like 3 days before the fight. This is a fight week, We talk about he's cutting weight, drinking Red Bull, and like dancing all night long. And he went over there and knocked out Babalu. I was like, wow. I guess.
Yeah.
Beautiful
head kick.
I cannot follow every Chuck. I think that was the second fight that we talk about. Because we did the way he knocked him out with an uppercut and come back.
Oh, right, the second one. Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I want to follow Chuck's footstep, but not every part of it,
Not all of them. Yeah. When he fought Tito Ortiz the second time, I was on the card. That's when I made my UFC debut, UFC 66. And a friend of mine got in he told me the next day, fight day. The night before the fight, it was about 2-3 o'clock in the morning. He got in the elevator and there was Chuck Liddell. And he was like, you okay there, champ? You got a big day tomorrow. And he's like, don't worry about me. This is what I do. Right. We'll let you. Sorry.
Yeah, he's just so cool, man. He's like he didn't care at all, man. He trained hard, but he do not worry about it at all, man. That's why John Hackman actually start calling him the Iceman, because he's the Iceman. He doesn't get nervous or anything. He just in the locker room playing around, joking around, making jokes, making plans what he's gonna do.
Wow,
that was Chuck like. That's why I guess he was so successful.
What a mentor and an inspiration for you when you were younger. And big shout out to Chuck Liddell, because that man is a true legend. The sport's moved on so much now, and people forget people like Chuck Liddell and what they did for this sport. So maximum respect to that guy. Last question, real quick. Saturday night, you're in the octagon. The fight finishes. How does the fight finish? And in what style? What happened? What happened Saturday night?
I'm gonna be my style, man. I'm gonna go after finish, and to be honest, it could be a surprise. It could be a knockout there, because I'm always gonna be worrying about me taking him down, and I work my hands. I feel very confident in my hand, and I take the winner anyway, anyhow. But if knockout come in front of this crowd over here, it's gonna be nice and sweet.
It's going to be nice and sweet. We can't wait for it. Glover, thanks for your time. I know you got a busy day. Have a great weight cut. Have a sensational fight. And I can't wait to watch it. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, BSP. Always good to talk to you, man.
Always a pleasure, brother. Thank you. All right. And there he is, the one and only title challenger, the former champ, the legend, and one of the nicest guys. I mean, he is always like that. Glover Texeria, what a guy. Be right back. All right, let's talk about Shopify. If you're a businessman or a woman, if you're an entrepreneur, if you have a business, if you sell things, whatever it is, you've got to be online, okay? In your local community, yeah, it's great selling to people, but there's 9 billion people on the planet, and that is what you can do if you go online. And that is where Shopify comes in, because it makes having an e-commerce or an online store very, very simple, very, very cheap, not complicated, and it gives you a tremendous amount of support. One of the cool things is that you get 24/7 customer service. As soon as you sign up, you can accept every single major credit card or payment method. So that's very, very good. It lets you integrate with all kinds of, social media apps and things like that. And it really, this is what you need to take your business to the next level. Packed with industry-leading tools, ready to ignite your growth, Shopify gives you complete control over your business and your brand. And you don't have to learn any new skills or coding or anything like that. They do it. As I said, 24/7 help is available and an extensive business course library. Shopify is there to support your success every single step of the way. It is the e-commerce platform which is revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide. And as I say, listen, it's easy, it's simple, it's quick, it's cost effective because we have an incredible offer. They're going to let you try it out for 1 month. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period. That is ridiculous. $1 per month for a trial period at shopify.com/believe, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/believe to take your business to the next level today. $1 a month. Okay. You have a business. You want to get it online. We're saying you can do it for $1 a month. We're going to give you 24/7 customer service. You're going to be able to sell worldwide. You are going to instantly be able to accept every single major payment method. I mean, this sells itself. If you don't take advantage of this, you are a fool. $1 per month for a trial period at shopify.com/believe. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the Believe You Me podcast. As you saw, that was one half of the title fight, Saturday night, Glover Texeria. By the way, we have a ridiculous UFC 283 special for you. We just had Glover Texeria. On the show, we also have Gregory Rodrigues, RoboCop. We also have Gilbert Burns. Okay, yeah, we just had him recently, but we're having him again. Who else have we got? We got Beneil Dariush, okay? The most overlooked badass on the goddamn planet. Who else? Is that everybody?
I think so.
Glover, Gilbert, Gregory, it's the triple G's and the Beneils. It's the triple G's and the Beneils. 4 guests. Come on. Helwani. Eat your heart out, bro. Step aside. We're taking over. Harrington, how are you, buddy?
This is going to be an MMA 2-hour show.
Probably is. Everyone's like, Jesus Christ, an hour's long enough. An hour is long enough. So we got Beneil Dariush joining us in about, 20 minutes or so, I think. I forget, 11:30. But Harrington, before we get into all the shenanigans of mixed martial arts, throw something non-MMA at us so we can have a laugh before we get back to the other guests.
Well, I mean, this is non-MMA, but it turns into combat sports pretty quickly. A teacher is in hot water after a student squared up to him, and the teacher said, "All right, I'm about that life," and started swinging on him. Brian, if you want to pull that up.
Yeah, bring this up. This is ridiculous. I shared this on Twitter the other day. So give us some volume, Brian, as well, please, buddy.
Bro, say it too, bro. We're right here, bro. Everybody watching, my nigga. What's up, bro? You ain't telling me shit. Bro, I'm on my
I mean, the teacher's being very patient. He's just getting abused and called all kinds of names from the student in the classroom who's clearly a little shit. And And you can see the teacher, look at him. He's stewing. He's getting madder and madder.
You can see his like posture change, where his hands are.
Oh, there it is. And yeah, I mean, he messed up. He's messed up. I mean, here he is. I mean, he goes after the kid here. And the kid's got his hands up. Swings back. His teacher misses. Goes for a single leg and then ground and pound town. By the way, you never want to do that if someone's trying to do a single leg. But the guy doesn't fight in the UFC. He's a school teacher. But look at this. Look at this. And he's still going for it.
Reminds me of my high school.
Oh, my God.
They sent him the one female security guard, too, to break it up.
Oh, my God. Anyway, kill it, Brian. Kill it, Brian. That's the end of the video. I saw that yesterday and I shared it on Twitter. Now, I don't agree with what the teacher did. I really don't, because listen, is that kid a little shit? 100%. Did that kid need teaching a lesson? 100%. And I'm kind of on the teacher's side. However, if you take a job there where you're dealing with children, you've got to be able to not lose your shit and attack them. Do you know what I'm saying? That kid was so in the wrong. And I guarantee it's a problem at home. His parents aren't doing their job as they should. And I hope you raise your daughter. Is it a daughter? Daughter. I hope you raise your daughter better, Harrington. But what's your take?
My take is, if I'm that teacher, see the kid who stood up and like immediately got out of there with his saxophone. That kid seems like he knows what he's doing, right? Like he understands like a fight's breaking out. Like I gotta be there or get out. I go to that kid. And I'm like, look, man, this is music class. I don't care. I'll give you straight A's for the semester and I'll buy you McDonald's for a week. Just beat the crap out of that kid.
What on earth are you talking about? Shut up, Harrington. That was the dumbest take you've ever heard in my life.
Decisions.
No, that's it.
Who makes bad decisions, Brian?
Well, one, the teacher, and also Harrington.
Yeah. Well, no, the teacher definitely made bad decisions. Look, listen, that kid, and this isn't going to be a popular opinion, he needs slapping. He does. This is the problem. And I'm not saying kids should be beaten. I'm not saying that. But that kid needs some bloody discipline taught into him. He needs to have a little bit of respect. Listen, I was a little rascal at school. Of course I was. And I was cocky with the teachers. You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't talk to them like that. So he's clearly got no respect. And sadly, this is probably a sign of a pussification of the world. You know what I mean? That kids can't get disciplined or they're not held accountable. You know what I mean? Yeah, that teacher should not have done that. He should not have done that. And I hope it works out the best for him. Now, you should not be losing your patience like that. You cannot snap. You can't lose your temper and explode on a child. As a teacher, you should have to be able to take whatever they say, whatever words they say, and not flip. Okay? That's a fact. However, that kid's still a little shit. Do you know what I mean? And he needs to be taught a lesson. So, Harrington, if you see that kid, what are you going to do to him?
I mean, he's a kid, so I'm going to leave him alone. But did you ever have that? Any beef with a teacher in school? No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. I remember once, what was it? Because we used to be late for school, at primary school, elementary. We used to be late every day. My mum's got a bad leg and she's a terrible driver as well. She had polio. So when we leave, and we were always late anyway, right? But then when we leave the house to go to school, she has a real bad limp, right? So it takes her forever to walk. But as we're walking out through the garden, she's like, getting us to tidy up the garden. I'm like, Mom, we're going to be late again. And then the car would be what she calls parked round the wrong way, because now she's going to do like a reverse turn and all the rest of it. And she's a terrible driver. That would take 20 minutes. So every day we'd be late for school, right? And it was an issue. And then one day I go in and the teacher says, right, and it's not my fault. I'm 8 years old. Do you think I'm in charge of getting myself to bloody school? Take it out on my mother or my father. He says, right, I want everyone in the class, if you live near Michael, to please stand up, right? So the majority of the classroom stand up, right? And he goes, so Michael, all these people here, they can all get here on time. Why can't you? And I'm like, and I flipped. I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, he doesn't live anywhere near me, right? The reality is the town's tiny, so we all live near each other. But in my 8-year-old mind, you know, being on the other side of town, I'm like, he lives nowhere near me. And I kind of flipped. And then the teacher got out of his chair, walked over, give me the biggest slap in the face.
And to be fair, I deserved it because I swore. I can't remember what I said. I said, they don't live anywhere fucking near me or whatever. And he just came up, give me the biggest fucking crack ever, you know?
That's fun.
So, yeah, that was about the closest I got. Or Edwina, Mr. Jones, our PE teacher. You call it PE, right? Physical exercise.
Jim.
He had Jim, whatever you want to call it. He had a little rubber slipper. He had a rubber slipper, and on it he had a face drawn, and it was called Edwina. You know what I mean? And if you messed around in PE or you forgot your shorts or whatever, you used to get Edwina. You know, Edwina would make an appearance and you get slapped with the sole. Or check this out, what he did. And this would definitely be an issue for a lawsuit or some shit these days. Because my mum and dad, you know, whatever. They weren't making sure I always went to school with everything I needed, okay? I hardly ever had a pen, and I very, very rarely had my PE kit on the day when it was PE. So I wouldn't have shorts, right? And the teacher thought that I was doing it on purpose to get out of doing PE because we ran cross-country through the town and through the village. And he said, right, you're not getting out of that. He made me do cross-country, about a 4-mile run, in my underpants and a pair of trainers. He said, oh, yeah. He said, oh, well, we'll see if you forget them next week. And I had to run through the town in my underpants and a pair of sneakers.
This feels like it definitely be a lawsuit in America.
God damn. The good old days, though.
Well, I had like a gang fight out by the bus stop of my high school, and my deans rolled out, and these two are like giant. Like one of them's like a ex-football player, and the other dude is like an ex-cop. Just giant men, and they rolled out like they were fucking Sauron in Lord of the Rings, and just started demolished, like hitting kids with other kids. The shit was so wild. It was like one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my whole life.
Oh my God. How you doing anyway, Brian? You well, buddy?
Yeah, everything's good.
Glad to hear it. So what time do we have Beneil? Was it 11:30 or 11:10?
I can check our text thread, but
whatever. So we'll
just be here any minute.
He's joining us in just a second. So obviously 283, we just spoke to Glover there. It's a tough fight though for Glover. It's a tough fight for both. And I say that with respect. It's a tough fight for both men. I believe this fight is kind of like sudden death. One mistake on either side, and I believe it cost them the fight. Now, of course, Glover is great with the hands. He's a phenomenal boxer, big power, and he's just so well-rounded. I believe the grappling side of things is where he's going to win this fight. Jamal Hill hits incredibly hard. He's tall, he's long, he knows how to use his reach, but the knockout power that he possesses is ridiculous. Look at that shot he landed on Johnny Walker, where he did like a reverse Mexican wave. It was wild. And over a 25
inflatable arm man.
Yeah, wacky wave inflatable arm man. And over a period of 25 minutes, Glover's got to be perfect because he can't take one of those shots. And on the same token, Jamal's got to be perfect because he is nowhere near. He's at a major deficit when it comes to the grappling compared to a Glover Texeria. You know, he's still relatively new to mixed martial arts in many ways, certainly new to grappling and jiu-jitsu and things like that. The only loss on Jamal's record, of course, is the one to Paul Craig, the armbar. So Jamal's got to be perfect because if he gets taken down, makes a mistake, gives up his back as he's trying to get back to his feet, he's going to lose by submission. And if Glover's not perfect and gets caught off one of those big shots, there's a good chance, and even though Glover still has a chin at 43 years old with the miles on the clock, just saying, Jamal probably is capable of landing that knockout shot as well. So both men have got to be absolutely perfect.
Well, I was going to ask you about that because Glover's chin to me is absolutely legendary, right? I mean, other than the KO punch against Rumble, I can't remember. Like I remember Alexander Gustafsson had to throw the kitchen sink at Glover Texeria to put him down. Yuri Prohaska landed some massive bombs on Glover Texeria, and he just kept coming forward. I'm wondering for somebody like Hill, who has made his bones having that kind of KO power, if he lands one of those big shots on Glover's chin and Glover keeps coming, what does that do to the confidence of somebody like Jamal Hill?
Well, it doesn't necessarily affect it negatively because if you're landing the shots, that's what you want to do. You know what I mean? So it's like you're going to take positivity from landing the shots. All right, you didn't knock him out. I'd still rather land the shot than not land the shot. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, I didn't knock him out, but I'm doing the right thing. I've got my rhythm. I'm making reads. I've got the timing. I'm connecting on this goddamn son of a gun. But it's like, whoa, this is the toughest old 43-year-old son of a bitch I've ever seen in my goddamn entire life. But you just keep throwing those punches. You keep landing the shots. Who you got winning in that one while we wait for Beneil?
I mean, it's tough. It's so tough just given that Glover was in a camp for a title fight against Yuri Prohaska, right? They took a 3-week break, 2-week break, and then got right back into camp for the Jamal Hill fight. I don't think Jamal Hill had started training for Anthony Smith yet. So, speaking of Anthony Smith.
Michael Bisping.
Look at that for timing. He literally just said your name. Right.
Really?
And by the way, you're all he ever talks about. And Brian, they have such a crush on you. Anthony this, Anthony that. But how are you, buddy? Looks like you're cutting a little weight.
Yeah, I'm getting skinny. I'm trying to, working on my girlish figure.
It is a very girlish figure that you have. Talk me through the last few days, mate. What you've been doing in Brazil?
Man, it's been good. We got here. I got here Wednesday and then checked in with the UFC and all that stuff, and then honestly went and hung out at the beach, got a workout in, and it's honestly
at the Copacabana.
Yeah,
is that the one?
You should see this workout room right now. There's a bunch of superstars here.
Show me who have you got. Who's the superstars? Tell them to come on and say hi.
We got Jamal Hill's coaches are right here.
Whoa, what's up, Team Hill? How we doing?
There we go. Moicano's over there beating the shit out of Grant Dawson. You should see it. I'm so embarrassed.
Who is Moicano?
Yeah, he's beating the shit out of Grant Dawson right now.
Get Money Moicano over here. I want to have a quick word.
Moicano, Bisping wants to talk to you.
I just want to say hi.
Bisping wants to see you.
What up, brother? How you doing, man?
What up?
I just want to say hello real quick.
Here.
Let's go. Get some money, baby.
Let's go.
Hey, enjoy the training session.
Here you should talk to Dawson and to Thiago, who fights on Saturday. And
shit, there we go.
Right. Yeah.
You got a room full of bloody celebrities and big time fighters. So, Anthony, they're all working out. They're pushing it. They're sweating. Why are you let down?
When do I let down?
No. Why are you let down? Why aren't you on your feet? Why aren't you busting why aren't you sweating?
I am. I'm in the sauna blanket. I'm inside of it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many pounds you got to go?
I don't even know. I haven't checked it recently. So
is that because it's too scary?
Heavy. Yeah, it's heavy. Well, we'll get there though.
Let me ask
you. Want to talk to Jamal Hill's? You want to talk to Jamal Hill's head coach for a second?
I would love to. Yeah, please. Thank you. What's up,
Mike,
brother?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How's how's Jamal looking?
He's looking good. Yeah, we're about maybe 5 pounds off, and we'll get the rest of it down tonight, and he'll be good to go.
Nice. And mentally, he's coming into this one nice and positive.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, he's ready to rock and roll. The fight couldn't come quick enough, man. He's ready to put on a show for everybody.
As a coach, when you look at Glover Texeria, what is the biggest threat for Jamal in this fight?
I think the biggest threat is if Glover can close the distance. Obviously, establish a clinch, try to get Jamal down to the ground. But we've been working on that since we started the training camp, and we brought a lot of good guys. Anthony was there. We got another coach, Justin Andrews, here. We had Corley Gracie's been coming in too. So we've been working a lot of what Glover's good at, and nullifying what he's going to try to do, and then just getting back up and doing what Jamal does. And I think at the end of the day, Jamal's going to second round TKO. For sure. Beautiful.
Well, listen, all the best. Send our regards to Jamal. May the best man win. Love them both. Great fight. Can't wait for it. Yeah, all the best and good luck.
All right, take care.
Now stick that lazy bastard Anthony Smith back on. When you're a backup fighter, Anthony, did he make you sign the posters?
No, I didn't get to sign the posters.
Well, that's good. It's the most annoying thing ever, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's irritating as shit. There's like 4 billion of them. I'm expecting if something happens, I'd have to, but everyone's looking good, man. Glover looks happy, looks healthy. Jamal's looks fantastic. I was surprised at how low his weight was. I think he was like 240 when he took the fight, but he's fully fed and fully hydrated. He looks good, man. It's been really cool seeing all the fighters walk. Everyone's just really happy.
Yeah, no, this is a lovely bit of insight in the training room as well. So once again, Anthony Smith steals the goddamn show. We've got a big show
we got
today,
another superstar. We got another superstar.
Tiago.
How are you?
What's up, brother? Good luck, man. Good luck. Let me ask you. So more than likely, there might be a need for you to step on the scale. Well, no, you will be weighing in regardless, correct?
Yeah, I'm weighing in no matter what.
So just in case, like if they get sick or anything like that.
Yeah.
But what are you doing Saturday night? Saturday night, let's say they both make it to the octagon, right? And I know you hope that they do, which is very noble of you. What are you doing Saturday night? You're going to watch the fight and then you're going to go out and paint the town red? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm going to. Mike, it's been a long time since I've been able to, think about when's the last UFC event you went to and just got to sit in the crowd as a spectator and watch, where you're not working it or whatever. I'm going to sit in the crowd in the fighter section. I'm going to have some beers. I'm going to enjoy the show like a regular goddamn fan, and I'm real excited for that.
Yeah, I did it at UFC 282, the last one, but I actually said when I was there with my wife, I went, this is awesome, because I never get to do that, what you just said. Right. Let me ask you this, though. Do you think they're going to have Busch Light in Brazil?
Probably no Busch Light, but I bet they got lots of vodka. So I'm going to go vodka. I'm going to go vodka cranberry to stay healthy.
Oh, God, that's what you got to do. All right, mate. Well, listen, let me ask you this.
Are you still not drinking?
Bro, look at these cheekbones, man. I'm losing weight. I'm down to 223. It's coming down, baby.
Me too.
Oh, shit. Well, I should think so. You got to be 205, buddy. You got to beat me to it. Real quick, give me an analysis and prediction, maybe if you want to, on the co-main event, then we'll leave you to it. Figueiredo, Brandon Moreno. What do you think?
I think that Figueiredo's success solely lies on his weight cut. To be 100% honest with you, I think the bad performances that he's had has always been piggybacks by seeing him look like shit on the scale. When you see him struggling, you see him looking terrible. He's really drawn out, and then you see his performance. Those two things usually correlate with each other. So, I think the tougher times he's had with Moreno, I think, has been some weight cutting stuff. Obviously, with Benavidez, he had a bunch of weight cutting issues. But he looks great, and I think he's the more powerful guy. I think he's the better grappler, and if his weight cut is good, I think he's the more explosive guy for longer. I think his conditioning is better. So I do lean heavily towards Figueiredo, but the analyst in me and the fighter in me does pull for Brandon Moreno a little bit. He's just a really nice guy. He's easy to talk to.
Okay. So you're covering both angles there, right? Who's your pick? Who's your pick?
If in Brazil, probably Figueiredo.
Okay, well, I've got Brandon Moreno. We're going head to head.
You want to let's do a bet on it?
Well, what is the consequence?
I suppose you'll have to start drinking again if Figueiredo wins.
Bro, that isn't a punishment for me. It's like I'm fiending. Okay. Regardless, whatever, it's going to be a fantastic fight. Anthony, we appreciate your time, and we'll let you go. Good luck with the weight cut. Hope it all works out for the best possible scenario. If you do end up fighting, oh my God, we are going to lose our minds. Oh my God. Have you thought about that? I mean, obviously you have, but what do you think is going to be your thought process? If, let's say Friday morning, you get a phone call, say, Glover's had a terrible weight cut. He's gone to the hospital. The fight's off. You're up. Will it be, fuck yes, let's go? Or will it be a little bit of, oh shit. I thought I was getting paid just for a free holiday to Brazil.
It'll be a little bit of oh shit, and then let's fucking go, I guess.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, listen, either way, whatever happens, have a great weekend. Enjoy.
You got Glover on today, right?
Yeah, we just had him on.
How was it? He looked good?
He was awesome. He's cool. He's calm. Always got a smile on his face. He seems very confident.
Good. All right, man. I'll see you guys Monday.
Enjoy Brazil. Are you still going to be there Monday?
I'll be there. I said I'd be here today.
No. Are you going to be in Brazil on Monday?
No, I'll be home.
Oh, in and out? I mean, look, this guy's a pro. He's a pro. Right. Enjoy, man. Have a great weekend. Right. Talk to you soon, buddy. All right, Harrington, get on here. Don't leave me on here with a one shot. Anthony Smith. Who else do we have? Renato Moicano, Beneil Dariush. Beneil's keeping us waiting. But no, we got 8 minutes. Grant Dawson. I mean, it's just fighters all over the place. All right, so what was your pick for the main event?
I mean, after hearing that, after hearing his coach say just how on weight he is and ready to go, I mean, that was my only concern, is that Glover, with his style, feels like he'd always be ready for a fight, right? Like 6 months out of a camp, just catch him at a bar and he's ready to go. With wrestling and jiu-jitsu, it made me lean towards Glover. But after talking to his coach, I got to say Jamal Hill.
Yeah, I've got. I think if I had to choose, it's Jamal, and I feel so bad saying that because we just had Glover on. I look like the biggest two-faced bastard on planet Earth, right? But I've got to make a pick, and I've got to be honest. But I'm not confident in it. It could go either way. And you know what? To be honest, I could see Glover knocking him out as well, because Glover hits goddamn hard, and as you said, his chin is fine. Yuri Prohaska hits hard, and he took a lot of shots of Yuri, you know what I mean? And in the end, it was a submission that took him out of there at the end. So he's as tough as they come. He's grizzled. I just think, do you know what? Maybe I just see that image of Johnny Walker flying back like that, and the people that he's done that to. And maybe I'm putting too much stock into that. But I think it's a good thing to put stock into. Do you know, I think over 25 minutes, he might catch him. However, I think once he gets out of 2 rounds, the power won't be quite the same. You know what I'm saying? But still, all right, I'm sitting on the fence. I'll say Jamal. Just don't tell Glover, because I love the guy. Just don't tell Glover. Right, news. What have we got? Any news stories before we talk about some of the other fights? In fact, we've got to give a quick shout out to Shogun Rua. Shogun Rua, it's his final fight. Man's a legend. Inspired me when I started my career. Loved the body of work, the opponents he's beaten, the wars that he put on, the running pride, became the UFC champ. I mean, it's unbelievable. The wars with Henderson. This guy that he's fighting is no walk in the park, though. He's no slouch. So it's a good opponent because, listen, you would think that let's give Shogun someone he can win, someone he can beat in his home country, in his final ever fight. But that's insulting to a legend like Shogun. You got to give him someone, you can't bring someone in with one leg and go, here you go, Shogun, there's your last fight. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be given a victory. You want to earn it. And this guy, he lost his UFC debut against Nikolai Negumereanu. But prior to that was on a hell of a win streak, 7 submissions, 7 knockouts. So it's a tough one for Shogun, but I don't care. Right? I normally say may the best man win. I want Shogun to win this fight. I want him to get that emphatic fairy tale send-off. What I dreamed of in my head in London, I wanted to have one more fight because I wanted to put my gloves down in the middle of the octagon, thank the crowd and all the rest of it. I hope he gets that moment because he deserves it so much.
Yeah, 15-fight win streak for Ihor. And interesting, right, that this fight is not on the main card. But I do think that's kind of a credit to Shogun to put him in the prelim headliner, which is going to be seen by more people, right? Like he's going to be fighting on ABC for his last fight. Like that's think about how crazy that is. Where Shogun entered into the UFC to now he's literally fighting the last fight of his career on major network television in America. It's crazy.
Also, the prelims are on ABC
and ESPN Plus.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. That's huge. That's huge. And then, as you say, when you look at Shogun from when he first started to now, how the sport has changed. I mean, he was out there fighting in Japan where everyone's roided out of their minds. They didn't give a damn. Enson Inoue, you know who that is?
I do not.
Legendary fighter. He used to fight in Pride from Hawaii, but like half Japanese, I think. He revealed on Twitter recently, he was doing the rounds, runny nose or something. It was doing the rounds. He showed a bit of his Pride contract, okay, and it was regarding the testing for drugs. And it says in it, verbatim, word for word, black and white in the contract, that there will be drug testing done. And if they find cocaine, marijuana, recreational drugs, there will be a fine, a penalty, possibly a suspension, it might have said. But it put there in black and white, and I think in capital letters, performance-enhancing drugs will not be a part of the test. Basically encouraging them to take steroids. Because I remember Phil Baroni, Kendall Grove, shout out Kendall Grove, my old Tough 3 housemate and a very good friend, who, by the way, is fighting on KSW soon in Poland. Kendall hasn't fought for years, so all the best to Kendall Grove. But he was telling me a story because he knows Phil Baroni well. And he said that when Phil Baroni re-signed with Pride, he said he met with Pride. And this is Phil Baroni telling Kendall the story, but I'm relaying it. He said that Phil Baroni met with Pride and they pulled out a picture. And they said, but this is the Phil Baroni that we want. And it was Phil Baroni just ripped, because back in the day, he was in ridiculous shape. He said, Pride said, this is the Phil Baroni that we want. And then Phil Baroni opens up the top drawer of like his bedside drawers, and it's just full of steroids and needles. And he goes, I'm fucking back, baby. True story, apparently. Oh, my God. What should we talk about while we wait for Beneil?
Okay. UFC 285. They booked their headliner. We talked about that on Monday's show. Cyril Gane versus John Jones for the heavyweight title. They also have another fight on the card. Might be the co-main, might not be, but Valentina Shevchenko is defending the flyweight title against Alexa Grasso.
Yeah, I mean, that is a sensational fight. I love the way Alexa Grasso fights. Sorry, I'm just making sure Beneil has this link. Sent the email again to him. Yeah, Alexa Grasso's, I love the way she fights, man. She's amazing. Like, the boxing is sensational. So that's a great fight. I mean, John Jones, Cyril Gane, Shevchenko, Alexa Grasso in the co-main event. And I got told from a little birdie some of the other fights. And this is not UFC. And this might be speculatione. But I'm going to read out the speculations. Potential fights: Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Jeff Neal, Bo Nichols' UFC debut, and potentially Amanda Nunes and Irene Aldana. Yeah, that's not UFC people. Someone said, oh, I'm here that those fights are happening. That sounds like a goddamn fantastic fight card.
I think Bo Nichols versus Jamie Pickett was announced. That was the first fight announced.
Oh, was it really?
For that card. Yeah. So that one is definite.
Poor old Jamie Pickett. I'm not saying that he can't win this fight. He's a beast. He's big. He's explosive. He's powerful. But wrestling, I mean, he can wrestle as well. He's a decent wrestler. But Bo Nichols, I mean, that guy's hyped himself up so much. He's put a lot of pressure on himself. But something tells me that he's gonna do great. I'm not saying that he gets by Jamie Pickett. I'm not disrespecting Jamie like that. But a man that is so confident like Bo Nichols, and when you see what he's achieved in the wrestling world and so far in mixed martial arts, and apparently his jiu-jitsu's top level as well, it's going to be interesting to see how this Bo Nichols experiment plays out. So that's going to be a great fight. 283, let's talk about some of these. So Brandon Moreno, Figueiredo. As I was just saying to Anthony there, I've got Moreno. And the reason being is, number one, Figueiredo does struggle with weight cuts. Okay, that has been a big factor that's followed him around throughout his career. He's also 35 years old. And a flyweight at 35 years old isn't the same as a middleweight at 35. You know, speed starts to diminish. Reflexes start to get a little bit slower. You know what I mean? Reaction times aren't quite what they were. And at flyweight, that's supremely important. Now, of course, they fought 3 times: a draw, a win for Moreno, a stoppage, and a decision for Figgy. It's all about this fight, the fact that they've now got to be fighting 4 times. Who has been able to extract more data and info and knowledge about their opponent than the other? Who has been able to learn what works and what doesn't work? Who has got the wherewithal and the mental intelligence and the fight IQ to realize what is a good thing, what is a good approach, and what is a bad approach? But that doesn't matter right now, because it looks like Elon Musk came through, Beneil Dariush, because if I'm not mistaken, you are sat in a Tesla.
That's right. This is actually the second one. The first one is the one we were waiting for like a year. This one came in pretty quick.
What model are we talking?
This is the Model 3. My wife drives the X, which we waited for a year, and then I'm driving the 3.
Oh, the 3, the X. Life is good for Beneil Dariush because they're not cheap cars. My wife's got the Model 3. You guys are killing it.
Not complaining. Definitely not complaining, man.
Hey, just take me back to that. When you said that about Elon Musk, did you ever hear anything from Tesla or Elon himself?
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, I thought I was getting scammed. So I wake up, I made the shout out Sunday morning. I wake up to a bunch of emails and calls, and it's after a fight. I don't look at my social media. I don't look at my my phone because it's just my wife's like, hey, I want some attention at this moment. Like, all right, so I put everything away. I try to go to bed. I don't sleep that well usually after a fight, but wake up in the morning and I'm getting these weird like voice messages from this they're not called dealerships. They're whatever they're called. They're like, oh, come to Brea, come to Costa Mesa, come to one park, and we're gonna get you set up. And I'm like, bro, I must be getting scammed. This must be from last night. I'm getting scammed. I got to figure this out. So I just kind of leave it alone, and then I don't look at my social media either. And then a couple of hours later, my friend calls me and he's like, hey, did you see? I was like, no, see what? Elon Musk, he responded to your call out last night. And I was like, oh, crap. And then I was like, wait a minute. Maybe all these guys are actually legit. So I called back one of the – I don't remember if I called back or emailed back. They were reaching out so much. But I called back, and turned out everything was good.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you got your Tesla. But more importantly, listen, you want the Tesla. But you want the big fight. Right, because I'm looking at your record here. I wasn't not listening. I just Wikipedia'd you real quick. 8-fight win streak, some tremendous opponents. Thiago Moises, Joy Dober, of course, last time out of Tony Ferguson, Carlos Diego Ferreira, but Mateusz Gamrot. I mean, I don't think people realize how impressive that win was, because Mateusz Gamrot is a very, very good opponent, and you got the job done. You had a tough opening round. I mean, how do you feel right now? I know you feel very, very overlooked, correct?
Man, overlooked is definitely the word, but at the same time, it's I used to give Sean Shelby so much crap. You know, I'd be calling him all the time and giving him a hard time, but at this point, it's like I see Sean trying. You know, Sean can only make so much to ask these guys to fight. You know, we asked for Dustin Poirier, we asked for Charles Oliveira, and I wanted them immediately. And the reason why I want them immediately is because I want to fight the same time the champion's fighting. And Lord willing, I win. And then that way I can be ready to fight the champion. Because the thing about this game is like, what have you done for me lately? Because I'm sitting and maybe waiting for the title shot, some guy does something and then they're like, oh, this guy should get the next title shot. So it puts me in a difficult position. For example, right now I'm looking at the Justin Gaethje and the Fiziev fight. If Fiziev wins that fight, he puts himself in a very comfortable position. So that's why I'd like to step out there and get another one.
And who do you think that's going to be? Because I know you were calling everybody out, and you even said that Dustin Poirier should retire if he's not going to start taking on some of the guys maybe a little bit below him. But in a perfect world, who are you thinking?
Perfect world, I get Charles Oliveira because he's number one. He is number one because he's beat these other guys and he's very good, bro. Otherwise, he really has it all. And if he shows up, he's the most dangerous fighter, and that's who I want to fight. You know, I'm gonna be retired one day, and I'm gonna look back and fight everybody. My management, my coaches were not a big fan of the Gamrot fight. They actually didn't want me to take that fight, but I said, hey, I'm not gonna sit back and do nothing. So I need to fight, and it's the only one available. Let's take it. And I love the fight. After I watched Sarukian, I was so stoked on that fight.
That fight with him and Sarukian was ridiculous. And that's when I looked at Mateusz and Sarukian. I was like, wow, these guys are incredible. And that's the state of the lightweight division. I mean, of course, you've got the big stars, right? You've got your Oliveira's, your Islams, your Gages, your Poiriers, yourself. But also from there, from like 5 to 15, the talent in the lightweight division is absolutely ridiculous right now.
You know, I always say this. I think the guys outside of the top 5 actually better. You know, you could make the exception of Islam and even Charles maybe, but I think the guys outside of the top 5 are better than the top 5. We got guys into the top 5 that are very good, and you know, we've talked about maybe 3 of the guys so far. Sarukian, we talked about Gamrot, we talked about Fiziev, and then there's guys like Ismagulov. There's guys like why am I forgetting his name right now? But there's the Georgian guy. Well, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name now.
Guram Kutateladze.
Guram, he's so good. Good. Man, I can't believe I forgot his name. But Guram is I actually think he beat Ismagulov. I think he beat it pretty clear. So I thought he should have been the one who fought Arman Sarukian, but it doesn't always work out like that. And then look at Jalen Turner. Nobody's talking about him yet. Well, bro, like he's like running through people. These guys are scary. These guys are not people. No one wants to talk about them is because if you talk about them, you have to fight them. I'm talking about them because I want to fight them all in the future. I'm not trying to avoid anybody. So those are the guys I want to fight.
Yeah. No. You're absolutely right. People don't talk about them. They don't mention them because when you mention them, all of a sudden you're willing it into existence almost. Do you think that's what, and I'm not putting words in your mouth, but do you think that's what Paddy's doing? Because Paddy never mentions anyone's name. Do you think he doesn't want to create any friction or give life to something? And I'm not saying that, by the way. I'm not.
Paddy's got a lot of power behind his words, especially with how many followers he has or whatever. Whoever he calls out, he can fight. The UFC likes him a lot, obviously, and they should. Look at it. He brings in he's funny. he's funny hilarious. And he gets the views, so I get it. Whoever he wants to fight, he can fight. Obviously, in my opinion, if I was his coach, I'd be like, hey, calm down. We're going to take this slow. We're going to work our way up, and we're just going to keep on focusing on improving. And maybe even focus less on interviews and things like that. Just focus on fighting. But, Paddy could fight anybody he wants right now. If he just calls them out and really, tells the UFC, hey, I want this fight, give him a fight.
Oh, no, without question, because, listen, Paddy is known for being very funny. He's got a big personality. He's brash. But the kid can fight as well, so he's not here by accident. But one thing that Paddy does have that some people say, Beneil, is what's costing you, and you know where I'm going with this. Paddy can talk. Paddy can sell a fight. Paddy can entertain people. But you're a man of lesser words, and I know you're a very respectful guy. You don't want to talk crap and all the rest of it. But Beneil, we just got to start talking a little shit, brother. We got to start talking some shit.
All right. Well, it's a little tricky, because one day I will be retired, and the only people who are going to look back at my career and my everything I did is going to be my kids. Last thing I need them to see is the way I acted I acted like an ass, and then they're like, well, you always tell us to act this way, but why were you acting like that? And last thing I need my kids is to call me a hypocrite. So that's the one thing I always look at. It's like, that would be rough for me. So I don't know, man. It's a little bit hard, but telling the truth is not hard. Like being, hey, and then I don't mean in a bad way for Dustin Poirier. Everybody got all hurt about it, but bro, I'm genuine. You don't want to fight these up-and-comers? I'm like the least of your problems. At least I've been around for a while. You don't fight the guys who have 4 or 5 fights in the UFC and they're just killing it. Then you're gonna be in a long wait to find your next opponent. There's not a lot of guys left. These guys are coming in. The new guard's coming in. You're gonna be old news, whether you like it or not, if you don't fight them.
Yeah. No. You make some good points. And the reason I did this is because when you say about the kids, you're absolutely right. And that's all I ever did. Make a complete asshole out of myself. So I'm like, oh, you are so correct. But
wait, so you bring that up to you? Do your kids actually bring that up to you? Oh, good.
No, not yet. But they will. They will. Give it some time. It's coming. Yeah. Islam Makhachev, Alexander Volkanovski. What are we saying?
I lean towards Islam just because it's a big size difference. Otherwise, they're both very skilled. You look at Volkanovski's ability to see punches and kicks and just kind of implement his game plan in the striking. It's amazing. He's very good at moving out. What's crazy is his ability to actually land so many low kicks, even though he's not actually trying to knock you, put some damage on them and then use that to so he has a lot of tools in the striking department. Islam on the other hand, I would say he has very good base striking. What he does really well is his feints. He feints really well. He's able to use his feints to move you to to the cage, or he's able to feint until you're not sure how he's going to react, and then he gets the takedown. It's really going to be about that takedown. Who can get the takedown, and if he's able to hold the other person down. That's the tricky part, because we have to also remember Volkanovski shoots a lot too. He does a lot. He goes for a lot of takedowns, so it's definitely a possibility. He gets a takedown in this fight. It's not like Islam can't be taken down. We've seen him taken down by Thiago Moises. We've seen him get taken down by Arman. He can be taken down. So, yeah, that's gonna be the fight. And then cardio too. I would lean towards Volkanovski because he has no weight cut, but having a big dude like Makhachev on top of you for a couple of rounds, that'll wear you out. So I don't know, man. There's so much to it. I'm actually just excited to watch the fight because I'm a fighter and I want to fight these guys, but I'm also a fan, and this is a fight you can get behind.
Yep, no, fully agree. I cannot wait for it. In fact, I'm going to be commentating it, so I'm very, very excited. I'm going to ask you a question here. Don't take this the wrong way. Don't think I'm insulting you, because I'm not, because I'm the same way. But how old are you, Beneil? Because we're seeing a fair bit of grey hair coming through there, brother.
I'm like 33 pushing 54. I don't know how to explain it, bro. I have a kid and all of a sudden I look like I'm 50. Fortunately, It doesn't affect the fighting.
No. You look good, buddy. You look good. You rock it. It's distinguished. So some women like that, We're going to play a game, if you don't mind. It's going to be called No More Mr. Nice Guy with Beneil Dariush.
Oh boy.
We're just going to throw a game. It's just a game. It's just a little game. And what you say in games doesn't matter. It's not real. But all right. So I'm going to say some names, and you're just going to say what comes to mind. And what you think in your deepest, darkest, loneliest, darkest thoughts about these people. But we'll start with your old friend that you mentioned recently, Dustin Poirier.
Clown sauce.
Oh dear. Charles Oliveira.
What's the word I'm looking for? What's the girl that always plays games and never lets you know if it's happening or it's not happening? What's that word?
Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, sure, whatever. We'll just go.
That's good. I like that one. Dora the Explorer.
He's like a flirt. That's what he is. He's like a bad flirt. He's like, oh yeah, I'll fight you. Oh, I won't fight you. Oh, I'll fight you. I won't fight you. He's a flirt.
Oh, okay. Justin Gaethje.
Madman.
He is a madman. Harrington, jump on here a second. What names am I forgetting? I've drawn a blank. Give me some top fives. Give me some Islam Makhachev.
Basic.
Interesting. What makes him basic in your opinion? Humbly, of course.
It's all basics. He doesn't do anything like he's not reinventing the wheel. He's good at the 1-2. He's good at his right hook. He's a southpaw. He doesn't shoot a lot because he sets it up really well, which allows him to get the takedown. But he's all basics. It's all basics. So if you want to beat a guy like that, you got to be good at two things. You got to be good at basics, and you got to be comfortable because he knows how to put the pressure on.
Beneil, when I speak to you, it's clear that you know a lot about mixed martial arts and the strategy and the technical side of things, because you speak a lot of sense, and of course what you achieve in the octagon is world class. Some of the opponents that you've beaten. Have you always had an analytical mind when it comes to fights and just generally in life?
No, I think you get that as you get older. I mean, fighting was always easy. I never you'd never hear me complaining about fighting. You say, hey, this guy's got an issue with you. Okay, let's get to it. Or I don't know, like fighting has always been hard. You ask me to speak in public, that stuff like that actually terrifies me. But fighting never been an issue. And then the studying part, that really did come in after I got injured. I had some neck issues and I just couldn't train the way I wanted to. So for a while I was just studying, and it doesn't really, like, it still doesn't make me happy. It doesn't give me any joy. It's like cardio. No one likes cardio. And people who go for runs and say, oh, I love running, I always question them. You know,
I love running. I have no knees. I have 2 total knee replacements, and I still run nearly every day.
You guys are strange. It's just strange. Like, what are you doing running? What are you running from? Like, you know, what's the point of it? And I mean, don't get me wrong, I do it, but it's because I have to. Anyways, no, I had to learn. I had to learn the studying part, and then once I learned the studying part, you start to see people's nature in their fighting style. So it's cool.
Absolutely. You mentioned fighting was never an issue for you, but growing up, you don't seem like the type of kid that would have been getting involved in a lot of fights and stuff, or were you a bit of a scrappy kid?
Oh goodness, man, I got my ass whooped like all the time. So when I was young, I used to get my ass whooped by my sister and then also my buddies because I was the weakest. And then as I got older, you get your ass kicked enough, you learn how to fight. So then I got better. I got better at fighting, and then it just ended up doing it a lot more than I should. And then I got kicked out of one school, and then I was almost kicked out of 2 schools. Yeah, I got kicked out of one school for sure, and then I almost got kicked out of another school. And then actually, when I found martial arts, I kind of calmed down a lot.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Nice.
Martial arts was helpful.
So we have the 91 freeway separating where we live. You're still in Yorba Linda, right?
Yeah, well, I'm actually Placentia now, so I'm a little bit.
Yeah, it's still the same area, same. So I'm in Anaheim Hills. I'm just we're neighbors. We're neighbors, pretty much.
Bro, I think I've seen either. I don't know. You go to Mother's Market, right?
Yeah, sometimes, not very often, but sometimes.
Okay, I don't know, man. Never mind then.
Oh, well, say hi. Next time you see me in Mother's, get in my bloody...
I thought it was you just leaving, so I figured I'd let you go. I didn't want to bother you, but I feel like...
Oh, no, I do go there, so it might have been me. Where did you grow up? Obviously, you're Iranian. Did you grow up in Iran? When did you move to America?
I was there since until 9, and then we came to America, and then I pretty much lived in Yorba Linda ever since, so... about 20 years in Yorba Linda. And when I got married, my wife's like, "Oh, I'm not staying here. You have to buy me a house." So we moved down to Placentia. But the goal is to go back to Yorba Linda because that's the gold standard right there.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I live in Anaheim Hills. It's very similar. It's lovely. It's great. It's lovely. It's just so boring.
That's what I love about it. I love the old people because they don't bother.
The old people is what I hate. They're lovely. They're very nice. But the old people.
Yeah, they're everywhere, bro.
They are.
Listen, you think you want the other way around, like you think so, but once you're surrounded by young people and they're loud and they're, they want to talk all the time and whatever.
How dare they?
Yeah,
these young people, they want to talk. No, you know what? You're absolutely right, Beneil, because my wife and I, we say this. I joke. The grass is always greener on the other side, right? I'm like, we need a bit more of a vibe. We need better restaurants to go to. To be honest, I hardly ever leave my house. And we have a nice house in a nice area.
The restaurant thing, I agree with you. We could use a little bit more, restaurant, better food. Like, that's why I will say Placentia. He's got a lot of good Mexican food. You want... Ooh. Yeah.
Give me one restaurant in Placentia that I should check out because I never go to Placentia.
We're talking, if you're talking like fast food, you want to go to Taqueria
No, a nice restaurant. I don't do fast food, Beneil. Come on, look at this physique, bro.
El Farolito. Yeah, I would go to El Farolito for sure. Man, I prefer, trust me, Taqueria de Anda, it's not that bad for you. It's actually quite healthy.
All right. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. All right, so we'll let you go on this. Perfect world, your next opponent. Who will it be and when?
Perfect world, I'd get to fight Islam, and I'd fight him, man, soon, like June or something. But I think in reality, I get to fight. Another perfect scenario would be to fight Charles, then fight Islam, then probably fight whoever's next. Whoever's going to next.
I know I said last question, but you mentioned Charles there. Do you think he's going to get the next shot? Do you think because they did offer it to him, didn't they, on this card this weekend in Brazil, but he said he wanted a break. I think initially that happened. Do you think he's going to get the next shot, or do you think he's going to have to win a fight first?
At the title? No, I don't think they'll give him a shot at the title because his fight, man, he didn't do anything. And I mean, no disrespect, but like he didn't even, I don't even know if he landed any shots on Islam. So it's hard to get a rematch when if it was a close fight, you'd be like, okay, let's consider it. But he didn't land anything. He wasn't able to do much. So I don't think he needs to. They'll probably say he needs to win 2 fights, or if he beats me. I mean, if you beat me at this point, I think that kind of gives you all the momentum you need. So I think beating me would do the trick. But
yeah. Well, Beneil, the fear of public speaking is the number one fear, I think, for a lot of people. You are bloody good at public speaking. This has been great. You're like, people say Beneil can't talk. You're intelligent, you're analytical, you're confident, you're funny, you're brash, you're talking shit about me, saying that my kids are going to judge me. You're the total package. Why are you scared of this, Beneil?
I mean, if I could explain my fear, I could probably overcome the fear, but I can't explain it. I'm not sure why it bothers me so much to speak in front of people, but I mean, talking shit is actually not that difficult. The people I love the most, I talk the most crap to. That's
how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how it goes. But if you want me to talk crap to you, you got to be special to me. I got to actually genuinely love you. So these guys, yeah, they're not, that's an honor they have not earned. So
they have not earned yet. All right. Well, listen, hopefully we've earned another interview from you in the future. When you get a fight booking, we'd love to hear from you again, Beneil. Thanks for your time. Love talking to you. Love the career, man. I'm a big fan. I love the way you fight. The technical prowess that you have is unbelievable, man.
Listen, Michael, I know you probably hear this all the time, but bro, you're one of the best examples for guys like me. I'm 33, still trying to get a title shot, and people will say like, bro, if you haven't gotten your title shot, you haven't won the belt yet, it's not gonna happen. You're one of the guys I go to, and obviously now we have Glover Texeria as well. But bro, you're the man. I appreciate you so much, and I appreciate you having me. You have a great day.
No, thank you, Beneil. Take care. All the best, man. All the best. And that just might be, Harrington, the nicest man in the whole of mixed martial arts. What a guy. And for a person that says that he can't talk, what a sensational interview. A little bit of a sound quality issue right at the start, but we'll be back in just a second. Okay, let's talk about BetterHelp. As we know, mental health never had more focus than what it has right now, but for some reason, there is still stigma attached, certainly for men these days, because they don't want to expose what might be perceived as a weakness, but there's nothing wrong with talking about your problems. More than likely, most people are going through something, and talking to somebody will help, whether it's anxiety, depression, addiction, temper, anger problems, whatever it is, speaking to somebody will help. And that is where BetterHelp comes in. It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It is professional counseling done securely online. And BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches. What I mean by that is your therapist, if you don't like it, they'll give you a different one. You just push up a button, you'll be given to someone else. You don't have to jump in your car, drive around to the other side of town, park the car, walk in, have it all awkward. You do it all there from the comfort of your own home on your phone. It's very, very easy. New testimonials are posted daily, so you can join over the 1 million people that have taken charge over their mental health. Listen, you know what it is. If you've got something that's going on in your mind and only you know what that is right now, deal with it. You will find the world a better, happier, brighter place. You will have more ambition. You will be happier in your day-to-day life. Whatever that demon is, take care of it. Go to betterhelp.com/believe. You're going to get 10% off your first month. Okay. Financial aid is available as well. And this is real people that you're dealing with, real professional counselors. Okay. No quacks, no idiots. Okay. Professional counselors done securely online. So betterhelp.com/believe is the website. Make sure to use that believe code, 10% off your first month, betterhelp.com/believe, and all the best. All right. So anyway, before Beneil rudely interrupted, we were talking about the fourth fight between Moreno and Figueiredo. It's all about who has the ability to extract the most information and then change or implement or improve their style. You know what I'm saying? And I think Moreno, what is he, 29, late 20s, I believe. And Figueiredo's 35. He's historically has a problem making weight. I think MMA Junkie are even reporting that he's having a tough weight cut. I think that's going to be an issue. I think 35 is a bit of an issue. I think Moreno is the only one that got a stoppage. I think he's younger, and he's also been with some different coaches. He's with Saif Saud. He was with James Krause. He's moving around. He's extracting information. And also, Figueiredo hasn't fought in a year. In that meantime, Moreno had a great fight with Kai Kara France. You know what I'm saying? So because of the more activity, because of the youngerness, the youth, yeah, I've got Moreno.
Okay. I'm looking at it the exact opposite way with the James Krause thing, right? Like at the end of the day, he's in the middle of a camp, right? Training for a title fight, and he finds out he has to fire his coach and move to a whole new gym.
That wasn't that recently though. That was a while ago now.
Couple months, but still, he was actively in camp with Krause, had to fire him, go find a new coach, figure out the rhythms.
But do you know why that's good? Because when you work with a coach, and you've been with the same coach for years and years and years, right? You've basically extracted what you can from that coach. And if you work, let's just say you get a guest session or whatever with a new coach, that new coach wants to show you all his tips and his tricks, all his good stuff first, because otherwise you're not going to be impressed. You're not going to think about joining that team. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to be very giving to start. They're going to show you all the shit they've got because they want you thinking, oh my God, this coach is amazing. I got to stay with this coach. So he was with Krause for a bit and he got to take away more than likely all the best bits that Krause can offer, because everyone does have little tips, little tricks, little techniques. You know what I mean? So he would have absorbed some of that from him. And now he's going to Saif Saud, who has a tremendous team. Fortis MMA, great team down there. And Saif Saud is a tremendous coach. So he's pulling from Saif. He's pulling from Krause. He's pulling from whoever the fuck it was before in Tijuana. You know what I mean? And he's going to be pulling Figueiredo's head off. Maybe.
That's interesting because he did, after he made the move to Krause, that's when he got the finish against Figueiredo. So, you know, now he's been with Krause for a couple of years, had another fight with Figueiredo. Like you said, that's more knowledge for him to download, and he's changing it up heading into this fight. You sold me, Brandon Moreno. All right, listen,
Gilbert Burns is fighting this weekend. Got a huge fight against Neil Magny, and he joins us. I'm going to say right now. He joined me yesterday, and you know why I'm saying that? I was going to say right now, I've got a different T-shirt on. I'm wearing Violent Gentleman, but still, we're going to throw to yesterday's interview with Gilbert Burns right now. All right, I'm here with Gilbert Burns. Gilbert, listen, I know we just spoke very, very recently, but you are looking very lean, my friend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 180, very close, 90 pounds to make weight. I'm very happy. I was never that lean. I'm training again tonight, and I'm feeling great, you know. So, I think it's gonna be the easiest weight cut I ever had.
Nice. Glad to hear it, Brian. Are we good at your end?
Hey, Gilbert. His connection seems to be a little screwy. Are you on Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I'm on Wi-Fi, but I'm in Brazil, my brother.
Oh, yeah. All right.
The internet is not good.
It is just what it is.
We got Brazilian time. We got Brazilian Wi-Fi. But let me ask you this.
Yes.
Brazilian food. When you go back to Brazil, like, obviously I live in America and I have a great life here and I love it. And I'm sure you do as well. But when I go back home, when I'm in Brazil, when the plane touches down and I see the British flag, I feel like I'm home and it feels amazing. Is it a similar experience for you, Gilbert?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Similar. Like, I love Brazil, you know, for sure. Same. I live in Boca Raton, I live in Florida now. But when I'm back in Brazil, then I'm home, you know, especially right now, kind of my name is kind of getting a little bigger here because everyone recognizes the airport, you know. So, yeah, having a great time right here. Cannot wait to fight for these guys. How hard is for you when you fought in London? How hard it was? Because I think the last 2 times they fought, they were very famous. So, and you got to give me a little tip.
Listen, you just got to focus on the fight, buddy. I mean, of course, there's going to be a lot of people cheering for you. The Brazilians, I think, are some of the most passionate fans in all of mixed martial arts. So obviously you want to put a fight on, you want to put on a performance, a display of greatness, but you've just got to focus on yourself, man. You can't let that affect anything. But let me ask you, so you're close to 170. When you weigh in, what is the food of choice? What will the post-weigh-in meal be?
At Friday, like right after wings, I still keep it super clean. Like my first meal is gonna be rice and eggs, white rice and eggs, just because the body will absorb very easy. But then I will still keep it clean that day. The only thing that I have, I cannot wait. It's gonna be the acai because we have acai place here, very good. One of my favorite spots called Golden Sucos, like Golden, like juice gold. So it's right here, like 2 minute, 1 minute walking. So that's the acai I'm taking for sure. But other than that, I'm keeping super clean. I'm gonna have a little pasta, salmon. I'm gonna have a couple sweet potatoes, and that's it. I'm gonna keep it super clean. But after the fight, my guy, after the fight, I'm going to the Rio Brasa. Is the best, like churrascaria, the Brazilian barbecue.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good. I'm gonna have a good time. Sunday, I'm gonna stay here all the way till Friday, so I'm gonna eat very good next week, and I
And what
cannot
about
wait for that shit.
a few caipirinhas?
100%, 100%, 100%. Just if you say, "Oh, you're fighting in London," hey, if they don't let me know on Saturday, for sure, the whole week I'm gonna enjoy.
Oh man, the caipirinhas, they get me wasted. When I was on the Ultimate Fighter, my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach made like a big blender full of it, and I was hammered, man. It's good stuff. I love it.
It's so good. Me too. My favorite.
Yeah, the sugar gets you going. We spoke to you kind of recently, so we won't keep you too long, but thank you for your time, Gilbert. Obviously, you're fighting Neil Magny. We spoke a couple of weeks ago, but how are you feeling now? Obviously, the fight's just a few days away. I'm assuming you're excited and ready to go to war.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Just like you said, ready to go to war if I have to. Bro, he's big, he's long, he's 6'3" tall. I think, Michael, he's gonna try to use the distance because I'm short. I think might try a couple front kicks, couple knees. And if I get too close, I think he's gonna try to clinch a little bit. But bro, game plan is ready. I'm gonna try to throw a couple heavy hands, get him out of there. If I'm landing, I might stay on my feet a little bit. But if I'm not landing, see that he's doing a good movement, he's keeping the fight there. I'm gonna take this guy down and I'm gonna submit this guy. So I want to finish it. I don't need, but I want to finish. I think a finish will put me back in a title contention. Then I'm fighting another guy, but I don't need, but I want to finish. I want to finish Neil Magny.
When's the last time you fought in Brazil?
Damian Maia, but that kind of doesn't count because that was the beginning of the pandemic. So there was no crowd in there. It was no crowd, and it was in Brasilia. Last time I fought in Rio, that guy's not even in UFC anymore. I fought Cowboy Oliveira. Remember the Brazilian cowboy, Alex Oliveira? And that was fight of the night. So, yeah, I have good memories. The other time that I fought in Rio, I had submission of the night with beautiful armbar. So, I don't know. I hope I keep it going like that. Get another bonus would be very nice. But, wins the most important. I want to finish this guy.
What do you think the Brazilian people, obviously, Brazil has a very, very steep history in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, obviously is where it comes from. Do you think the people, when they're watching you in the stadium on Saturday night, do you think they'd rather see a knockout or a submission? And what would you prefer?
I don't care. I don't think they care to. I think they want to finish just as much as I do. It's just like soccer, they just want you to score a goal. They don't want, you don't need to be beautiful. They just want to see a goal. I think the Brazilian crowd is the same. They want to see a finish, and I have the best style, or my goal is, Michael, knock this guy out or submit him. No plan B. That's it. That's plan A. Knock him out or submit this guy.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. Obviously, fingers crossed. We love you. You're a friend of the show. May the best man win, of course. But when you get the job done Saturday night, you got to be close to a title fight. Now, of course, Leon and Kamaru 3, that was just announced. That's definitely going down. Give me your thoughts on that matchup, and then tell me how close do you think you are to a title fight?
I think the fight will be super close. Like you said, now no altitude, Leon Edwards' house. I want Kamaru to win. I know Kamaru. We train together sometimes, so I want him to win. But I think Leon is going to win. I think it's going to be super close. But that guy at home, London crowd is just as crazy as Brazilian crowd. Like I said before, Kamaru is the first man walking into the arena now, to the cage.
Yeah.
Let's see how that pressure is going to be with Kamaru walking after, with Leon Edwards walking after. I think I'm in love with the corner. Like I told you last time in the show, the corner did an amazing job between rounds. And I think they just studied Kamaru and they studied Leon. And then I think they're going to do a great game plan. I think it's going to be close. But I got Leon Edwards with the winning, and I think I'm right there. You know, with a great win, with a finish against Neil Magny. I don't know. I think maybe one or two more to kind of solidify. Like I said, I don't want to ask for a favor. I don't want to beg to a title shot. I want to earn. So it depends on who I'm fighting. You know, if I'm fighting on a top contender, maybe one more fight. If those top contenders don't want to fight me, maybe two more, whatever. But I'm willing to do whatever it takes to earn another title shot. I don't care if it's 1, 2, 3. But I know the first step is Neil Magny, and I'm coming to everything. I'm ready for a war Saturday night.
Do you think Neil knows what he's in for when he walks out there? I'm not sure if he's fought in Brazil before, but I've been there for multiple events, and that Brazilian crowd, the passion that they show for their Brazilian fighters is unbelievable, you know, and he's going to get some shit when he walks out there Saturday night.
I saw a little, one of my friends sent me a little bit of his, I've been here before. I fought Damian Maia. Yeah, I kind of know what the crowd, I don't think he's familiar, but he said he is. So we'll see, we'll see. But that crowd is going to be crazy, bro. And wow, I think he has a lot of experience. He's been on the hostile territory. I think he's kind of used to that, but I'm looking forward to it. Cannot wait, Michael.
Yeah, no, we're all looking forward to it. We won't keep you much longer. Hamza, obviously your old friend. I think I saw a tweet or something where you said that you heard he's going up to middleweight now. Is that correct?
I heard that. I don't know if it's true, but I think he is, because he was huge. Last time he missed the weight by a lot of pounds, and they just put a video. That guy was huge. And I saw that video. I said, that guy's fighting middleweight. There's no way he's fighting welterweight. There's no way. If he missed the weight and now he's bigger than before, there's no way.
I don't think there was that picture where he's tensing up. Dude, he looks 210 pounds at least.
Yeah, crazy. But talking about Hamza, I'm very happy with the guys from Blocky Asset. They finally got my NFT on. I'm so excited. I was a little bit jealous. So come on, you guys just do Michael Bisping. You guys just do Darren Till, Hamza. You gotta show me some love. At least now they did. I'm very happy with the new NFTs. They put all the Brazilian lutadores there, all the fighters. It's me, Glover Texeria, Figueiredo, and we got this guy. Don't sleep on that guy, Michael. I know you don't, but Gregory Rodrigues, this guy is Gregory Rodrigues.
Oh, I know, RoboCop. The guy's a monster.
The guy that had a huge cut, RoboCop.
Yeah.
This guy, I'm telling you, I fought Hamza. I lost to Hamza. I lost to Kamaru. But guess what? Next day, I was fine. I was good. A little bruise, but nothing special. I sparred with big gloves with this guy, and we went hard. Guess what? I had 2 days of a headache. 2 days, Michael. I was just like, man, I hope I don't have a concussion or something. I didn't have nothing, but I say I'm not sparring the big gloves anymore. This guy is a monster. I'm very happy that Blocky Asset is doing his NFTs too. I'm gonna sign a bunch of today. We're gonna take a couple pictures, make some videos. There's gonna be nice stuff coming on the Blocky Asset. So guys, tune in. A lot of nice things coming on from Blocky Asset, but not Michael Bisping, Darren Till, and Hamza. Now the Brazilian guys too.
It's the Brazilian time. So you've got you, Figueiredo, RoboCop, Rodrigues, Glover Texeria, of course.
Glover Texeria. Yeah,
you're all there. And that drops the 19th of January, 4 p.m., 1 p.m. in Rio. And where do people get that? Because I'm looking at my notes here and I'm not sure. Where do people buy the NFTs?
I think you go to the website, Block Asset, all the info right there. There's going to be a link in there. I'm going to be posting a link.
Nice.
I'm going to put a link on my story now, but for sure, if you go to Block Asset page, all the info right there. Go get yours NFT. When you get my NFT, you invest in my career as well. So it's not those postcards, those little things that you buy in. No, you invest in myself. So go there, get my NFT, supporting myself, and I really appreciate all that. So Block yes, go get yours. A lot of things there. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, Block Acid, they're great people. And do check out the NFTs if that's your thing, because they are amazing. The ones that they did, the Legends collection that I was involved in, they had Muhammad Ali, they had Wayne Rooney, myself. They're calling me a legend, right? That makes me feel very old.
You are.
How old are you?
No. How old are you? I'm 36. I want they calling me a legend soon too, bro. No, you're a legend because the things that you made it. No, not your age. You're legend because you're freaking UFC champion.
I'm an old bastard. Yeah. Talking of legendary stuff,
I'll beat you. I hope I'll beat you, but yeah.
The hair right now, Gilbert, that's legendary. This is a new hairstyle for you, right?
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
How you like that? How you like it?
I like it, man. The only Brazilian with an afro.
Yes, the only one. Good, and with the Brazilian band, with the Brazilian bandana as well. So the only one, they don't miss it. And the only Brazilian with the American name, Gilbert Burns. So that's me. That's the guy right there.
I think that's an English name. It sounds very, very English, but still, Gilbert, you've got better things to do than talk to us. We appreciate you. You're a friend of the show. All the best Saturday night. All right. All jokes aside, it's a very tough fight. Neil Magny is a worthy opponent, and it's going to be an incredible fight. We always love watching you fight. You bring it every single time, Gilbert. So you always have the respect of the Believe You Me podcast, the community, and all the fans worldwide. So thank you for your time, and good luck Saturday night. All the best. And there he is, Gilbert Burns. Loved speaking to Gilbert. Love the new haircut. Love the confidence. All right, let's talk about the fight. I know that Neil Magny is a hell of a fighter. And he's a tough out for anybody. And he has a habit of winning fights that maybe you don't think he should. Lost to Shavkat Rakhmonov. The man's undefeated. Rakhmonov is potentially a future champion. He's very, very good. The fact that he took the fight is impressive in itself. So he's going to pose some problems for Gilbert. But I just think that Gilbert, I think he's more dangerous on the feet with the power that he possesses. If it hits the ground, that's Gilbert's world all day. I think even in takedowns, you might be able to overpower him and have better technique and better entries. Basically, this is a long roundabout way of saying I've got Gilbert Burns winning that fight. He's looking for a submission or a knockout. I think he might get a submission or a ground and pound finish. What say you, Herringbone?
I mean, Neil Magny wins in 6 of his last 8. I mean, like you said, the Jeff Neal fight, who wasn't counting him out heading into that fight? That was, everybody was on Jeff Neal in that fight. Got the decision win there. There is something about like the Shavkats of the world, the Michael Chiesas of the world, guys who can take Neil Magny down and keep him there, where you can just grind out a decision, right? Like the guy is incredibly hard to finish. I mean, Shavkat got the guillotine there, but I mean, Gilbert is a monster on the ground. And just the fact that I've seen Neil Magny in recent years really struggle with a continued high paced grappling attack that I think Gilbert is going to throw at him. Plus, Gilbert has heavy hands, man. Yep. So I don't know. This does feel like Gilbert Burns, but like you said, Neil Magny has a habit of winning these fights that everybody's counting him out of.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's no disrespect, but yeah, I've got Gilbert winning that one now. So, listen, we went from the main event, Glover, right? Then we went to Gilbert. And now we're going to go to another G. Glover, Gilbert, Gregory. The triple G's of the Brazilian fight world. Gregory Rodrigues, RoboCop. You should know the name. If you're a fan of the sport, you should know his bloody name. Simple as that. Gregory Rodrigues, RoboCop, heavy-handed, world-class jiu-jitsu. Big fight this weekend, and he joins us right now. What is up, RoboCop? How are you, buddy?
I'm good, brother. How are you? Looking forward to this, man.
Thanks for your time, Gregory. I know it's getting close to the fight for you, so we appreciate you jumping on. So we won't keep you very long. Obviously, big fight at the weekend. This will be the first time for you fighting for the UFC in Brazil. Tell me, how excited are you?
Oh man, I'm so excited for this fight. Since then I moved to United States. It was like almost 5 years. I didn't come back to my town, so being here is amazing. I brought my wife, my baby, for met family. So yeah, that's incredible. So but now is a fight week. My mind is still in the fight, and after that I'm gonna take some vacation here. But yeah, man, I'm so happy to be in my first pay-per-view, UFC in Rio de Janeiro. That's gonna be big. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, no, it's going to be absolutely massive. So you are doing extremely well in the UFC. You were on the contender, right? That didn't go your way. But then you had 2 wins in the LFA. Since then, I think you've won 4 out of your 5. And you're known for your jiu-jitsu, but you've been knocking everybody out, Gregory.
Yeah, man, like always I said, you know that, like, I'm not thinking just like, oh man, I'm a jiu-jitsu fighter. You know, I have jiu-jitsu, that's one of my skills. But I think MMA, you know, it's a different sport. So you need to know how to mix it. You need to know how to do the change. And one of the things was I need to fix it was my striking. You know, sometimes I just try to take the guy down and get tired, and then when it's done, the fight goes 10, and I got in trouble. But and then I focus a lot on my striking game. When I moved to United States, start training with a lot of beasts there. I went to King's MMA, you know, with Rafael Cordeiro, was amazing for me. And then I moved to Florida, started Killcliff FC. Henry Hoofdman is a, you know, nasty kickboxing. And then I have Daniel Mendes, one of my striking coach. So yeah, man, and I love the striking, you know, like I fell in love with that. Started knocking people out, man. That's nice. And yeah, but I'm still with my background in jiu-jitsu. I want to be complete, you know, I want to, you know, I can strike and I can go to ground. And yeah, I still improve my game. I'm not going to stop to learn. And yeah, man, I try to build in my own style. Yeah, and I'm happy, you know, my striking start working now.
Well, it's definitely working. As I say, 3 out of your 4 wins in the UFC have been by knockout and over really good competition. But for those people that don't know, what are your, and I don't expect you to show off because you're a very humble man, but what are your jiu-jitsu credentials? Are you a former world champion? What are we talking about here, Gregory?
Yeah, I in my color belt, you know, since my blue belt, always I compete in jiu-jitsu. When I moved to MMA, I got my black belt. I didn't have a chance to compete in my black belts, but I got the world championship in jiu-jitsu in my purple belt. I won in Abu Dhabi the world professional, 8 times national champion. I competed in the high level. All the guys still competing was the black belt. We used to fight together when I was young, and yeah, man. So that's helped support me and helped my career a lot in MMA. But yeah, I get my credential in jiu-jitsu, and since I didn't compete with my black belt, but I never stopped to train jiu-jitsu. So yeah, that's what
we were talking to. Yeah, we were talking to Gilbert Burns before, and he said that you are an absolute beast. He said that you guys were sparring, and then afterwards he had a pounding headache for days on end because you beat him up. he was joking, but he said you are an absolute beast.
It's funny, man. I mean, I love Gilbert, man. I learned a lot from him. He's a very nice guy. I love his family, Bruna, his kids, my wife. We live together and train together, especially one camp. I'm glad to, you know, make a part of the same card of him. And yeah, he teach me a lot. He support me. He said he get a headache, but he didn't say he's smashing me on the ground.
Exactly.
We was like I thought it was slow, but man, he started smashing me. And then when I tried to do something, I said, "Man, I'm done. I can't." But Rodrigues is a tough guy. Yeah, he got a lot of experience, and his maturity is so nice. You know how, and I learned from him from all the ways, and I love being by his side. He's a very nice guy. I love him.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. Everybody loves Gilbert. How can you not? He's just great.
Yeah.
So you're fighting Bruno Ferreira. I got to say, I'm not overly familiar with this guy. What can you tell me about him? And, how do you beat this guy on Saturday night?
Yeah, man, like Bruno is a tough guy. He's undefeated, but I know who I am. And he never fought a guy like me. I saw I respect his way. He did his work, man. He went to a contender series, knocked the guy out. He's a black belt in judo. His background, I think he was in the national Brazilian team. I respect that, but I'm came from the judo, and like I said, man, that's about MMA. That's not about judo. That's not about jiu-jitsu. So, man, I did a full camp for this fight. I would expect Brett Tavares, but he got out. I think he got hurt.
That's right. Yeah, sorry, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. So when did you find out about the change of opponent?
It was 2 weeks before the fight. A week ago, my manager calling me, and they said Brad is pulling out the fight, and then they started search for someone. Nobody accept the fight. I know that's hard because 2 weeks notice, and I will be smart as well. If they offer me RoboCop in Brazil, I said no, man, that's not a fight I want. But Bruno, I respect him, man. He accepted the fight. They was looking for someone in the rules in the UFC middleweight. And he was a guy who won the contender series, get his contract. He live in Brazil, and then he accepted the fight, man. I respect that. But Michael, that's not changed nothing in my mind. I did my full camp. He just stepped in. But I know where I'm going, and he's just gonna be one more guy in front of me. And at the end of the day, man, I just want to take care of my family to get my money. And go back home. But till Saturday, bro, my mind is gonna, I need to pass in this fight and still climb in my career. So I'm here, bro.
We're looking forward to it. I've got to ask you this, Gregory. RoboCop. I think it's an incredible nickname, but where does the name, obviously it's a great movie, and obviously now with the shaved head, you look a little bit like RoboCop when he takes the helmet off, but where does the nickname come from?
Man, it's a long time ago, 2013. It was my first MMA coach, Josué Destaque, and X-Gene back in the days. He didn't know my name, and he tried to call me. I just was a guy came from jiu-jitsu, and then you, man, RoboCop, come here. But and in the last fight, man, that gash on my forehead, and now I know why a RoboCop. But there's a big story behind this, and now before in Brazil, if you don't like the nickname, bro, that's gonna be your nickname.
Exactly.
Time I don't like it too much, and everyone started calling me RoboCop. But now I enjoy it. I like it. The movie, the story about Murphy, the cop, guy, RoboCop rising up, and that's me. So I
Get her alive. You were coming with me. I can't do an impression of it. RoboCop's awesome. I think it's a great nickname, and the movies are fantastic. I haven't seen it in years. So the scar between your eyes, is that what happened in the last fight?
It's good, man. Looking good. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. So that was against Chidi and Njikwani?
Yeah, it was Chidi. 30 seconds in the first round, man. I just got a hit by his knee, but man, it's funny. I didn't feel like I was dizzy, but the blood, man, started going into my eyes. I got kind of blind in the fight. And then if you saw my vein right over here, and if the vein get a hit on the vein, and then the fight it was need to be stopped, and I need to go in the hospital right away, and probably I was close maybe lose my vision. But thank God, man. Thank God that didn't happen. And but it is what it is, brother.
It's a crazy sport, man.
It's a crazy sport, and we need to be ready for everything. That can happen. Anybody.
So what are we saying Saturday night? Are we going for a submission or a knockout? What are you looking for?
Either, bro. I'm ready
Whatever.
for it. You know, like I'm ready for knocking him out. I'm ready for submitting him. I know my jiu-jitsu is better. I know my strike is better. But like I said, man, I respect him. If he will accept the fight 2 weeks notice, it's because he has something to show. But man, I'm ready, bro. I'm prepared. I was preparing for this fight for a long time, and yeah, and always, Michael, I keep in my mind 3 rounds. I have 15 minutes, and what happened before it's a bonus. But man, I'm ready for win the fight. Doesn't matter. Like I have the first, I have the second, I have the third round, and I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to give a good show for the people, for the fans, and for my people, and especially in Brazil.
Well, we can't wait for it because your fights are always exciting. And I'm not just saying that. Your fights are always the great value for money. So you're wearing the Block Acid sweater there. So not only your first fight in Brazil, right, for the UFC, of course, but you have your first NFTs dropping. So we had Gilbert Burns on. We're hoping to get Glover and some of the other teams. So you guys together, you're dropping the Lutadores NFT collection through Block Acid, correct?
Yeah, man, that's dope, man. I just signed on the NFTs, man. The picture they choose was amazing, man. I'm so excited for that. And yes, anyone needs to go in there and check this out, man. The NFTs is amazing. It's dope, man. I love Block Asset, what they do, the work they do, and they're gonna work more and some experience the people for change, like maybe met with us for training or some gloves, signed gloves, and anything. We're gonna talk about that, but man, I'm so excited with the news about the NFTs, and I just signed mine. So
yeah. Well, congratulations. Because I did some NFTs with Block Acid and they did fantastic. So well done on that. Now I'm going to introduce you to our producer here on the show, Mr. Michael Harrington. Harrington, show yourself, please, sir.
What's going on?
This is our producer. We don't allow him on camera very often, but today he looks good. You look good, Harrington. He's been on Twitter. Have you got some questions for our friend Gregory, please?
Yes, I do. First one comes from @GoofCon. What did Gregory think when Izzy called you the dark horse of the division? And would you like to fight him one day?
Man, I like it. I see like they watching me, and that's cool. Especially come with the former champion. Like I respect him, man. I'm a big fan of Izzy. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to one fight against him, man. That's gonna be amazing, It's step by step. I'm gonna build in my career, and that's gonna happen definitely.
Okay. This one is from a house cat who watches MMA. What's a Brazilian cocktail that Americans don't know about that they should start ordering?
Can you repeat that?
A Brazilian cocktail, like a caipirinha or something that Americans don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know about this question, Harrington. He doesn't. Do you drink alcohol?
No, I don't drink alcohol at all.
I didn't think so. Good for you. It's a terrible drug.
I'm a Christian, and I didn't. I don't take it.
Not even red wine.
No, nothing with alcohol. I think kombucha is okay.
Harrington, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you.
I should have done my research. All right, so I'll follow with this one. Ben Davis wants to know peanut butter and blank sandwich. What are you putting on your peanut butter sandwiches?
My peanut butter sandwich?
Yeah.
What the?
So like...
Gregory, this is why.
Yeah, I love the sandwich, peanut butter. I put some of avocados on top with the honey, and that's what I take it, man. I love it.
A peanut butter, honey, avocado sandwich. I've never heard of that before. That's why I have to ask.
Delicious, man. You should try.
That sounds nice, actually. That does sound nice. I'm going to ask a proper question. Stay on the screen now, Harrington.
And I like it to get this after cut weight, when I recover in my recover. And then I used to do like and then Saturday morning. I like it.
Nice. I've got a real question for you. Of course, main event, we've got Glover Texeria fighting Jamal Hill. And Glover's had such an amazing career, and he's been such an amazing ambassador for Brazilian mixed martial arts. I'm assuming he's beloved throughout Brazil. How do you see that main event going down?
Man, like you said, bro, for me, Glover is one of my examples inside of the MMA world. You know, I love this guy, man, and I love his energy everywhere he go. His smile, you know, and I love the way he fight, bro. And you know, but I trained with Jamal and Hillcliff for a couple of days. Amazing, nice guy, but I believe, man, it's a danger fight for Glover, man. Jamal have big hands, and he don't scare me. He don't respect. He go for the fight, and he was showing all of his fights. But I think Glover is a smart guy, man. He already showed why he's in the top, you know, in his age, and he knows that he have more to show. I believe this fight, man, probably if I was Glover, I would take this fight down. Of course, his grappling is a high level grappling, and they're looking for the submission. I think I'm going to Glover Texeria definitely, man.
I think that's pretty much the story of the fight. I mean, Glover's great on the feet. He's got phenomenal boxing. But if he can take Jamal down, that's his path to victory.
He trained jiu-jitsu. He improving himself, but I think Glover in this point is a different level, you know.
Yep.
And yes, man. But it's gonna be a tough fight, man. It's a nice fight. I want to watch it.
Yeah, Jamal hits ridiculously hard. Harrington, redeem yourself.
All right, Glover's protege, Alex Pereira. Any interactions with him? Do you, have you seen him around at all? Do you have any stories with Alex Pereira? And what is that like now, hunting for Brazilian at the top of the division?
Oh man, I saw him for a couple of times. We did a drill together a long time ago. He's a very nice guy, humble guy, you know. And we met here in the hotel. But man, like I don't think if middleweight is his division, you know, probably he's gonna go up. I know he's Glover partners, you know, and we have the same manager. And but yes, man, I have a lot of fights to do. Maybe a couple of fights for my title shot. If he wasn't if he's still like a champion, man, it's gonna be amazing because we're gonna fight inside of home. So yeah, and the belt's gonna be in home. But yes, I respect him. I love him, man. I like it. He's a legend for the glory, you know, from the kickboxing. But man, I'm on my way. You know, I'm on my way.
Oh yeah.
I wonder what
seems like it's a good time again because Brazil, obviously, mixed martial arts comes from Brazil. And there was a time where a lot of the champions were Brazilian. And then I think maybe a year or two ago, other than Amanda Nunes, there was no other Brazilian champions. But now you've got Alex Pereira, you've got Amanda Nunes, you've got Davison Figueiredo. You know, you're doing fantastic things. Brazilian MMA is doing very good again.
Yeah, man. We have a lot of good fighters representing Brazil so well. And I'm Brazilian, man, and always I'm gonna, root for my people and see him get the middleweight belt, one more belt in Brazil, like it was a long time ago, like it was before. That's amazing. See so many champions in Brazil. We show like how Brazilian power, and yes, and a lot of new generations coming, especially in the middleweight division. We have Caio Borralho, we have Denise, Muniz, Andrea Muniz is coming.
Yep.
Ranking. So many guys, bro. So many Brazilians, and Malhadinho in 205. Man, that guy is a beast. We have so many good fighters coming up, and I'm happy with them. Man, I went in Pedro Rizzo. He has like like a nice gym, help like pure kids, and I went there. I trained there before, and I saw so many talents there, man. a lot of guys, great guys, just waited for one opportunity. And I like it when we have more champions here, and the eyes from the world, can be in Brazil and help these people, have my people. I like that.
Yeah, well, Brazil's always been a powerhouse for mixed martial arts, and I'm sure Saturday night is going to be an incredible event. Good luck in the fight, right? Can't wait to see it. Good luck with the NFTs available through Block Asset. I think they drop on Friday, so check those out if you can. But Gregory, thank you very much. All the best. Good luck. Kick some ass, brother.
I'm a big fan, like I said before, man. I love your career. I love what you do for the MMA. We are here because you did your job. We work. You help us a lot. Thank you, Michael. Man, love you. God bless you guys, and I see you soon. Let's go.
Thank you, brother. Take care. All the best. Take care. Thank you.
Yeah, my man. Bye-bye.
And there he is, Gregory Rodrigues. And he's a smart guy, isn't he? He's crediting me for all of mixed martial arts. All jokes aside, what a guy. Thank you for joining us, Gregory Rodrigues, everybody. All right, there he is, Gregory Rodrigues. Thank you very much for your time. So Glover, Gilbert, and Gregory are all part of Block Asset. So they've dropped in the Luchadores NFT collection. And that's partly why we were able to get them on. So thank you for your time. And if you want to be a part or get your hands on some of those NFTs, brazil.blockasset.co. That is the website. Anyway, right. So main card. We still got a couple of fights to talk about. Jessica Andrade going up against Lauren Murphy. And we've got Paul Craig. Paul, let's start with Paul Craig. Right? Harrington. How you seeing this one go down? Right? Paul Craig, can he get it done against the worker? Can he get it done against bloody Johnny Worker, mate? That was terrible towards the end. I don't know what's going on with the accent. I used to be a good Scottish. Right, now see what you're doing, right? Harrington, who have you got in that fighting way?
That man can keep on walking. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Paul Craig, there is look, the Volkan Oezdemir fight was tough.
What?
Yeah. Volkan Oezdemir fight. Tough to watch, right? But I mean, he was on here just I think last week talking about the improvements he's made in the striking game. I think Johnny Walker is, I think he got a submission victory his last fight out. So clearly one guy's been working on his stand-up game. One guy's been working on his ground game. I think Johnny Walker, I could see Johnny Walker falling into a grappling exchange, similar to, if I'm not mistaken, Jamal Hill followed Paul Craig down to the ground because he was thinking, my submission skills, I can get this ground and pound TKO. I see Johnny Walker taking the bait on Paul Craig being on the ground. Then you're in Paul Craig's world, and Paul Craig's going to put you to sleep.
And Paul Craig, he is so dangerous down there, man. He just snaps those submissions out of fresh air. They're so fast and so deadly. He's so good on the ground. But it all comes down to, can he get him on the ground? Will Santos follow him? Walker follow him down? And if he doesn't, can he compete on the feet? Right? I think Walker has a massive advantage there. And Paul probably knows that. When I say massive advantage, I'm not talking about technically a massive advantage. I'm talking about this weird, freakish, explosive power that he has. That's what Paul needs to be aware of. And I'm sure he knows that, and the unpredictable nature, that's another thing to watch out for. But as we spoke about with Paul, he is trying to become more orthodox, working with John Kavanagh, things like that. And that takes away from the mentalness, from the unpredictable nature of him, trying to be more orthodox. It could come at a cost. I think Paul Craig gets the job done. I think working with this new team, all the sparring partners that he mentioned, I think, and he's very motivated. Just signed a nice new 6-fight deal, pardon me. He's doing tremendous things. And he's in tremendous shape. He's got amazing jiu-jitsu. He's a smart man. And this is a thinking man's game. If you're a smart man, when you lose, you learn from them and you figure out what you've got to do differently. In Volkan Oezdemir, in that fight, he was kind of exposed a little bit, but he knows. And so he's made some changes, got a new team, training with new people. I've got Paul Craig winning this. And I hope he does. I like Johnny Walker, though. He's a really nice guy as well. Nothing against Johnny Walker, but Paul is a friend of the show. We've had him on multiple times. And how can you not like the guy? One of the best dudes you're ever going to talk to. So, Paul Craig.
This is also the closest he's ever been to a title, right? Like for Paul Craig, you can actively make the case. He gets a win here, has the fight against Anthony Smith in March, and that's it. So it's like, for me, for a guy like that who's been in the UFC as long as he has, who's been getting these highlight reel finishes as long as he has, to be now on the precipice, there's another level that these guys hit.
I think if Jamal Hill wins, if the stars align correctly for him, you never know. If Paul Craig makes some noise, makes some fuss, if he gets an impressive finish, he's the only man to beat Jamal Hill, right? Glover's gone. Let's just say Anthony. Anthony's got a potential of fighting this weekend, but I still think they're probably going to want him to win one before he gets the title fight. He's going down as a backup, of course. So you never know. Maybe they make Anthony and Paul Craig fight, and the winner of them gets the shot. But it's not craziness to think that Paul Craig, with the right scenario, as I say, if the stars align in a certain way, that he was to get a shot. He's the only man to beat Jamal. Anyway, and then we got Jessica Andrade, Lauren Murphy. Jessica Andrade, oh God, what a pocket rocket. So violent, you know what I mean? The way she picked up Rose Namajunas, slammed her on her head. And then in the rematch, she lost by a split decision. But that was a very competitive fight, working the body, beautiful body shots. She's violent. Last time out, I think, against Lemos, the standing arm triangle, you know, many different ways to win. Lauren Murphy, very good technically. You know, last time out against Miesha Tate, progressively got better and better throughout the fight, landing more shots, found the rhythm, got the timing down. And, you know, by the end, it was a tough night for Miesha Tate. But I think I'm going to lead towards Jessica Andrade. I think she's a bit more explosive, probably more powerful. I think Andrade gets it done by decision. What are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, I could see the path for Jessica Andrade to get a finish in this fight. She is just so deadly at absolutely every turn. And she's also one of the few female fighters where I feel like it's the come back with your shield or on it mentality. You know, she's not just going to grind out a losing decision. She is always going to be fighting to either get the finish or get a win. So yeah, there's something about Andrade, again, precipice of a title, right? Like she's a former champion at 115. She's already calling for the rematch against Zhang Wei Li. Yeah, I just don't see the path to victory for Lauren Murphy in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't write her off quite like that. She's technically sound. She's beaten a lot of people. The only person in recent memories is Valentina Shevchenko. You know, other than that, she's beaten a lot of good ladies. But still, I'm with you. I agree. I mean, I said it first. You just piggybacking on my pick, Harrington. But there it is. We're going to go to some questions in a second. But big shout out to Glover Texeria, to Gilbert Burns, to Gregory Rodrigues, to Beneil Dariush. I mean, what about Beneil? I mean, the man is a very good talker, very smart, got a good little sly sense of humor there as well. Big fan. Hopefully we'll get him back on when he books a fight. Brian, come on stage.
Hello.
Let us talk to the great, powerful, and wise B. McKay's right on social media platforms. I am
at least none of those things.
well, you have got a nice beard coming in, though. Nice bit of ginger.
I'm working on it. It's just
I shaved mine down the other day. It went a little bit too much. Rebecca was horrified.
You either have to keep it long or like get rid of it all because it looks weird when it's short. Ginger hair, you know? It's weird.
Yep. If you want to send a question into bympod@gmail.com, then we suggest you do that. If you want to do that, then that's the website, bympod@gmail.com. The funnier, the wackier, the more interesting or random, the better. Stop sending in the same old questions, please, for the love of God. We want interesting, challenging, intellectual, thought-provoking, inspirational questions that Anthony and I, maybe Harrington, can dig deep on and give some insight and bestow some wisdom upon you.
If you are listening on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you find podcasts, make sure that you are subscribed to the show and leave us a 5-star rating, positive review. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the channel and you hit that notification bell to find out whenever a new episode drops. And if you want to catch over 400 episodes completely ad-free and uncensored, head to gasdigitalnetwork.com. Use the promo code BYM, get yourself a 7-day free trial, check out over 20 great shows on the network.
All right, so the first question we got today is from Rashab.
Dominic Cruz kept saying it this past Saturday, go to the body more. What's the worst body shot that you've ever felt? And what's the worst one that you've ever given to somebody? Love the show, guys.
The worst, yeah. I mean, there's two that spring to mind. There's one that it's funny I mentioned Kendall Grove. I remember going 1-2 left up to the body in sparring, and the poor guy, it was like he'd been shot in the head. I love Kendall, so I shouldn't be talking shit. It was like he just. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, Kendall, but in my mind, I'm like, that was sweet. And then another time, former Bellator champion Alexander Shlemenko, we were sparring. And the thing with Shlemenko, when we used to spar, and it was good to get ready for a fight as long as he didn't get injured, because he spars hard. Anytime you spar Shlemenko, it's a fight. It's a fight. And we used to spar quite regularly back in the day when I first moved here. In fact, we used to spar all the time, but it was like, okay, it's on, because he's a tough little bastard. He was the Bellator champion, so many fights. And we used to have some proper good wars, you know what I mean? And he didn't really speak English either. But I remember we used to go hard. I'm like, oh, you want to go fucking hard, do you? Stepped in, spun, spinning back kick, poof, right to the stomach, dropped on the floor. He couldn't breathe. So they're the ones I've landed. But we started with those. I've taken a few good body shots over the years. I can't think if there was necessarily one in a fight that impacted me majorly. But sparring, yeah, you get caught with them all the time. Harrington, go on.
I was going to ask you, where do you rank? Because I personally watched this one when you landed on Lewis to the liver and dropped him against the cage.
Why didn't I say that one? Oh God. Do you know what? I haven't spoken about this, but you know when and shout out Lewis. I'm not being mean here. He's got a good sense of humor. When we did that show, Tales from the Octagon. How was it now? Because the footage of when I punched Lewis in the body shot and he drops on the floor. I played that on stage. That's like part of the thing. So what I do is I come out and I say, oh, round of applause for Lewis J. Gomez. I told you it was funny. I said, hey, just think, if I was half as good at fighting as he is at telling jokes, I might have ended up fighting for Bellator, right? And then I gets a little laugh. And then I said, no, seriously, Lewis is pretty good. And then it comes up on the big screen, me dropping him. It was a bit of a cunt trick, but it's funny. Sorry, YouTube, we're going to demonetize us for that one. Brian put a little horn sound over that word. But yeah, shout out Lewis. Brian, what else we got, buddy?
All right, so we have a question here from Eric Davis from West Virginia, and definitely not from Wisconsin. He wanted to make a note. Last time I said Wisconsin, and he was like, motherfucker.
What up, BYM crew? Eric here from West Virginia. Just a quick question for you guys. If you could go back in history and reverse the outcome of one fight, not your own fights, has to be any other fight, but if you could go back and reverse the outcome, whether that be because you really hated to see this fighter lose, or you really wanted to see this fighter move on and fight for a title, or whatever the implication may be, what fight would you choose to reverse the outcome of? Mine personally, I really fucking hated seeing Robbie Lawler get knocked out by Tyron Woodley and lose his title. Thanks, guys. Peace.
Yeah, good one. But to be fair, credit where credit's due. Tyron caught him. Nothing springs to mind straight away. What have you got, Harrington? You got anything on the tip of your tongue?
The obvious one to me is John Jones, right? Like that. The one loss on John Jones' record is a DQ for a 12-6 elbow. That's the only blemish on the greatest fighter of all time's career. So like the only thing that's putting not a round number in the losing side of the column. So I think just given how badly, how much he was winning that fight and how much it did not factor into the outcome of the fight, that's one that should be changed.
Yeah, no, for sure. And as he was asking the question, my mind went to this, but I've been trying to think of something better. But it was Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman, because Anderson Silva was so dominant as the champion, and he started getting overconfident, complacent, and goofing around like he always used to do. And when doing so, he got caught off that punch off Weidman, which ended one of the most legendary run that we ever had in the UFC. Not taken away from Weidman. God bless him. Do you know what I mean? That's Anderson's fault, and Weidman did the right thing. But after such an inspirational and incredible run for it to end because of goofing around like that, and I would have liked to have seen how it went down if he fought properly and Anderson wasn't dicking about and had the leg not snapped in the rematch. You know what I'm saying, Brian?
I was actually thinking that when he said the question, but to get some extra points here, I'm going to say George St. Pierre, Michael Bisping.
Oh my God. Jeez, well, thank you, Brian. And you did just gain yourself some extra points there. Nicely played. There's so many things went wrong in that fight. Not only were my ribs broken or the cartilage all tore a few days before the fight, which was bad. There was a lot of other stuff going on. But then and I had one eye. My cup, I don't think we've spoke about this. I had this old metal cup, this tie, and the jock strap that I would have it, and I had it for years, and it was in the cupboard in the garage, and I just got that out, and I should have replaced it. And mid-fight, the jock strap rips, and I've got a big metal heavy cup swinging around in my shorts, right before I got knocked out. And it was in between rounds. I'm like, oh, fuck it, it'll be fine. Just stuck it in my underpants, and it all came loose again. It was still in the jock strap, but it was swinging around in my shorts. It was such a bloody distraction. There was so much shit went wrong in that fight. But it's not an excuse.
Jock strap gate.
Jock strap gate. Exactly. Anyway, that's the show, guys. Big thanks to everyone that joined us. Big thanks to Block Acid, because the interviews that we received today, they're all obviously a part of the NFT drop. So, when people have something to plug, I think we got to let them plug them. That's why they come on and give us their time and let us do the interview. So don't slag me off going, when is it a big advert for Block Acid? They have stuff to plug. So thank you, Block Acid. All the best with the NFT drop. Glover, all the best this weekend. Jamal, Anthony Smith, Gregory, Beneil, who else? Gilbert, Harrington, Brian. All right. And enjoy the fights this weekend. Anything to say? Any parting words of wisdom, Brian? And yeah, I'm sure you've got something there.
Be excellent to each other.
Oh, all right. Harrington, what have you got? Parting words of wisdom.
Guys, pay-per-view. There's a pay-per-view fight. There is a title fight this weekend. We have been starved a month without UFC action. Take it in. Enjoy it. Bask in the glory of Glover Texeria versus Jamal Hill.
He meant station.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching the show. We appreciate you all. We'll be back on Monday with Anthony Smith and a couple of guests. Enjoy your weekend.